It's showtime at Homestead, Miami.
Andre Baranowskis at the line, steals it in the Indy 250.
Morgan, he backs us in trouble, let it go. Gordon to the wall, jumps right around.
Side by side on the final lap, coming to the checkered flag.
Steve Morgan, the last half, and the victory in Las Vegas.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
I've been dreaming, thinking that maybe we're all gonna win. 'Cause I've been losing sleep, fighting something. I think it's time to let go. I think it's time to let go. I think it's time to let go. I thought I'd let you all know. I think it's time to let go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the big event of the year, the short track bull ring race that, in my opinion, is the best one, and it is probably the first big event that I have created and everyone has come to love. It's the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Welcome to this historic event. I am Alex Bonsignor, and alongside me today is going to be Napa Fan to bring you not a main event, not a heat race, but we are starting it off with the usual qualifying. We are starting off with late model stock qualifying. Napa Fan, welcome. It's great to be back here. It's great to be here for this event. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, and every year at this event, and I've said it many years before, it's a celebration of the community of NOFSRL 2003, and specifically NOFSRL as well, and I think that means more than anything. This year, obviously, with the COVID-19 crisis and everything else that's been going on in the world, I will say from personal experience that, everyone in this community has helped me get through this a lot better than if they weren't there for me. So, first, a thank you to all you guys for just being there for me and for all of us. And this is our thank you to you, a celebration of us being together, the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Of course, Junior Johnson made this place famous. He knew this place very well when real-life NASCAR was here, and in its reincarnation in NOFSRL 2003, we bring back another great event, 3 nights of racing here on Napa Fan, and we begin here with a huge night of racing on Thursday. This is today's schedule, or should I say tonight's schedule. We got a lot stacked up for you, including a finale race. We're going to be crowning a champion later tonight. But we begin, as Alex said, with the late model stock qualifying session. There will not be any heats in the late model stock session this year, as there are only 20 competitors in that class. This will set up the lineup for tomorrow night's late model stock feature. Then we move over to the super late model qualifications, and we'll have 2 groups of qualifying because we have, I think, 51 competitors in there. We'll jump right in the super late model heats, and that is going to be for the feature event Saturday night. Then, after that, the Chick-fil-A Cup Series is here, and we qualified last night, but they're going to set the starting lineup for the Southern States 400 tomorrow night with their own heat races, 20 laps each. Then we move over to the StreetStock feature, 40 laps, and then the Herr's Dash Series caps off its season with the North Wilkesboro 240 laps to crown a champion in the Herr's Dash Series, even though it's probably already Eric Monaco. But either way, we're glad you're here, enjoying this event with us here on this Thursday evening. We'll be back here again tomorrow night and Saturday night, and even Saturday afternoon as well. So much to look forward to here in this year's Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. And Alex, I say we get started with the cars going around this racetrack. We got a lot to do. Let's see how it all goes down.
Yeah, let's get her going. And here we go. We are ready for qualifying in the late model stock category. This is going to be the first qualifying effort of the evening. And at the moment, you're looking at the 07 of Josh Williamson. But the first driver to go on track is going to be the number 27 of Logan Williams, taking his first laps onto the track. I do not believe I've ever heard of Logan Williams. I believe that's a
You haven't been
starter?
watching my races then lately, because Logan Williams is in the Turkey Hill Series, which is the same series you race in. Apparently you didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently I didn't.
But hey, you know, this is going to be interesting this year. There aren't any heats in the late model stock class. So this is what's going to set the starting lineup for the feature tomorrow night. So 50-lap feature for these guys tomorrow. And definitely looking forward to see how it all goes down. It's going to be the last race before the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, and I think that's what a lot of these guys are excited for this year. Maybe not all the guys in this race. We don't have many Cup drivers in the late model stock class, but it's definitely huge bringing the Chick-fil-A Cup Series over with their throwback race here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, and right in the middle of the season as well. Definitely looking forward to that tomorrow night, but not to take away from these guys. They're going to put on a good show for 50 laps tomorrow night as well, and we're going to see who gets the pole position for the late model stock feature tomorrow.
Yeah, and I truly can't wait to see who really does. And as you can see, Logan Williams in number 27 currently top on the board, has the quick time 19.873 is a quick time right now. But I wouldn't count out this number 28 in the field tonight, Scott Upton. You know, I've been seeing him in practice earlier in the day, and I can tell you right now, he looks promising. He really does.
Well, how about this guy? Zachary Fitzwater, number 59.
Ooh.
He's Fitzy, you know he's going to be good, and definitely looking forward to see what Fitzwater can do. Of course, he's probably, he is the most experienced guy who's going to be racing in this late model stock feature, no doubt about it. I definitely watch out for him tomorrow night in the feature event. Meanwhile, fastest driver, number 2.
Yep, quick time.
Keegan
Thompson.
Yeah.
Keegan Thompson with the quick time there. Let's see if he can be knocked down of a 19.645.
6.54.
Or 6.54, yeah, that my selective dyslexia.
Number 20 Machine's up to second. That is Chase Buck. This is going to be his first career Napa fan start. A few guys in this late model stock feature who are going to be making their first career Napa fan starts. Brandon Yodel in the 00. I think Usman Hammond has made a start before, made the Freedom 50 earlier this year. Emmanuel Gonzalez in the 21 machine. We mentioned Chase Buck in the 20. And also Lemuel Cook in the 99, Nonigan Scott in the 58. So a few guys making their first career Napa fan starts in this event. It's a pretty good race to make your first career start as well. There's only 20 competitors in this field, and it's a relatively easy race to race, if you know what I mean. Maybe not to win per se, but with the field being half the size as it will be in the super late model class, it's definitely an easier feature to win in this Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
Yeah, and as you were saying before, this is kind of one of the bigger events in the NR community, and considering how big the event actually is, that's why you're getting a lot more first-timers and a lot more people making their first starts in this event, because that's how big this event really is. This is how much we've been putting effort into it and just showing how much it is. And I'm telling you, it's really good. And at the same time, I guess we just missed out. We got a new driver on quick time, number 7, Christopher Alphaby with a 19.528.
And Christopher Alpy has one career Napa fan win, came at Auto Club in the IndyCar Series last year, and that is completely different than what he's going to be experiencing here tomorrow night. Lemuel Cook to the top of the board in the 99.
And quick time for Lemuel Cook. And another quick time for the number 88 of Samit Ozkin. 19.5 flat.
And Ozkin's been having a great season over in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He's going to be going back-to-back tomorrow night in this race and then in the Cup Series. And he's won twice already over there. He's been having a great year on Napa Fan. He might get a feature win here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout as well if he can hold off the field here if he starts on the pole. But a 19 flat for Ozkin halfway through qualifying here in late model stocks.
Yeah, this is really getting up there in just how much people really want to get a good starting position here in this event. And Samit Ozkin's really showing it. Lemuel Cook is showing it. And even the 07 of Josh Williamson is showing it. Currently third right now.
Great starting position right now for Josh Williamson. Williamson's one of those few drivers who has yet to win a race on Napa Fan, but he's been racing for a little while here. It's in the Her's Dash Series. He's going to be racing tonight in that Her's Dash Series finale, and also in the Turkey Hill Series. Of course, Turkey Hill Series is off this weekend, but 18 We got a new fast time, my good man.
Quick time, number 18, Andrew Williams. And I'll tell you personally, that number 18, that in real life is driven by Bradley McCaskill, I believe. It is Bradley McCaskill in real life drives that late model, and he is one fast driver. So we got one fast guy currently and one fast car.
We definitely do. Andrew Williams, of course, his brother is Logan Williams, and Logan, number 27 machine, isn't running as well as Andrew so far in this session. As a matter of fact, they're bookending this session right now. Logan Williams is slowest, Andrew Williams is fastest. Interesting how that works out for those brothers there, but neither of them have won a race on Napa Fan before, and they're both going to have a good opportunity, especially Andrew Williams, tomorrow night in this late model stock feature, but it looks like the times are starting to flatten out a little bit. Still 4 minutes left in this qualifying session here from North Wilkesboro. And with what we've seen so far, only about 6 minutes here in this qualifying session, how do you think the race is going to play out for these guys tomorrow with only 20 guys on the racetrack?
Well, I can tell you right now, just the way the qualifying's looking, I think the race is going to actually be pretty decent, in my opinion. I mean, right now you're kind of just seeing people kind of, single file at the moment, but that's because they've all started flat, just kind of on their own and work their way up. But I can tell you right now, once they really get bunched up and start in double file, I honestly think there's going to be a lot of passing, a lot of aggressive moves, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a wreck or two. And,
want to do the honors, Alex?
Of course, quick time goes to the number 11 of Patrick Smith, a 19.443. That's the quickest time of the night, and I believe that's a track record, too. Because I think these times weren't being matched compared to last year.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure exactly what the speeds were for these guys last year, but Patrick Smith in the 11. Holding on to a pretty solid time right there. Looks like he'll be starting alongside the 18 of Andrew Williams, at least for now. Then again, you got to consider these guys are coming back down the pit lane and getting a fresh set of tires on their machines, and that's helping them out with these faster times later on in the session. But right now, it's Patrick Smith fastest, 27, almost got him there. That is Logan Williams, who beat his brother by 13/100ths of a second. But
yeah,
Patrick Smith's still the fastest. Logan Williams, Andrew Williams, Samit Oskin, 31 of Andrew Miller. I haven't really talked about Miller that much in this session. Actually, haven't talked about him at all, but he's also going to be going back-to-back tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, I think Logan Williams was kind of hearing us up here in the booth and was like, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to let my brother get all the attention. Went out and definitely put in a quick time, or a quicker time than what he had earlier.
Great run there for Logan Williams in the 27. Lemuel Cook just went to third in the 99 machine. Great run for him. Then Andrew Williams, Sam Manowskin, Andrew Miller, Josh Williamson in the 7. In the 20 machine of Chase Buck, the 00 of Brandon Yodel, and the 16 machine, we have to mention Mason Brown in this session here tonight. I think we'll get to mention all these guys tomorrow night, though, in the 50-lap feature. Not many guys in the field, and then also got Zachary Fitzwater as well, like we mentioned earlier, who's going to be racing. He could come through the field and have a good shot at winning this event, and I think he just went to second. How about that for Fitzy right there? Right as we're talking about him. Couldn't quite beat Smith's time in the 11. But watch out for Fitzy tomorrow night. He could have himself a good night here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
Yeah, Fitzy knows how to get it done around these tracks, and I can guarantee that for a fact. There's a reason why, when it comes to signups, he's automatically going to stay in that 51. He knows how to get it done, and 51 is probably one of his luckier numbers, too. I always keep saying this time and time again. I think I've said it every year so far. Only reason, or one of the big reasons why he's in 51 is because as long as he's been doing it in the modified tour that I did way back when, before this event was under the NOFSRL, when it was under the NRLOA, he was actually the NRLOA modified tour champion. I do remember that one. I do definitely remember that one. That was the infamous day of Motor Blue on one of my own modifieds, costed me the title, and handed it right over to Fitzy by a very, very slim margin.
Not only that, when I did the modified tour before you did, he was also in that 51 machine, I do believe. So, and obviously, you know, we know our good friend Alex Bonsignor here is related to the guy who drives that 51 in real life. So,
and the same with the 22, and that's why Nathan Stapleton's in that 22.
So that's why we let Alex decide who drives those modifieds. Modified qualifying is going to be tomorrow night. Then they're going to have their heat Saturday afternoon, and then the feature Saturday night along with the super late models. So we're looking forward to all that. Definitely looking forward to see how this race goes on tomorrow. It should be a good one. Number 11, Patrick Smith. I believe he will be leading us to the green flag in the late model stock feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout tomorrow, right after the super truck feature. And just a few seconds remaining, and it should be confirmed that the 11 of Patrick Smith will lead us to the green flag for tomorrow's race.
And it definitely looks like nobody's going to really beat his time. And it seems like ever since he put down that is a scorching lap, in my opinion. Ever since he took that lap, no one's tried to beat it. And he did one whale of a job getting it.
And that is how they will line up for tomorrow's late model stock feature. There was a tie between Williamson and Buck, but Josh Williamson has more starts on Napa Van than Chase Buck, so he'll break the tie with the number 20 machine. As for everybody else, no other tie, so that's how to line up for the late model stock feature tomorrow night, right here on Napa Fan, 50 laps from North Wilkesboro. We're going to keep on qualifying. Now it's on for the main event of this James and Ian Wicker, or I knew I was going to make that mistake at some point, this Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. We need to have something like a swear jar every time we call the race wrong. We have to put $1 in it.
Yeah.
But we're going to go on to the super late model qualifying session. 2 groups. Check down in the description to see which group you are in. We have to split the groups up because we have 51 entries. We can't put them all on the racetrack at the same time. So we'll split the groups up and have them go out for their heats. So it's all about the super late models here, right after this here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
And here we are. We are here for the next little thing that we're doing after late model stock qualifying. We are on to the super late models for qualifying, and honestly, I can't wait for this. I honestly can't. Right now, you're looking at the number 7 of Nathan Faden, but the first car that's going to go on track is going to be the number 47 of Casey Nanico, and I believe Nanico ran this event last year, and I believe it was the same car.
You might be right. I can't remember. But this is group number 1, and in the description below, you see the drivers who were in this session. Maybe if I feel like it, I also listed the drivers who were in this session. These guys will then go over later tonight and race in heat number 1. Actually, right after qualifying, they're going to start the heats for the super late models, and these guys will be in heat number 1, and the guys in group number 2 will be in heat number 2. And in each of those heats, the top 17 guys, with the exception of the pole sitter, because the fastest driver in each of these group sessions right now will lock their front row spot into the main event Saturday night. But once we get to the heats after qualifying, the top 17 drivers, with the exception outside, I should say, of the pole sitter for each heat, will lock their spots on as well. 36 drivers will be locked on to the end of the night. Everybody else goes to the LCQ Saturday afternoon, and the top 6 drivers in that event will race their way in to the main event Saturday night, meaning that 9 of these drivers will fail to qualify for the super late model features Saturday night. Hopefully I explained that well. Did you understand that, Alex? If you did, then that means I did a good job.
Yes, you did. You definitely explained it well. And of course, 42 drivers make the main event. So yeah, 9 drivers are going to go home at the end of the night.
Not
hopefully,
at the end of the night. On Saturday.
Well, at the end of the day on Saturday is what I kind of meant. But yeah, other than that, more than prepared. Right now, you're looking at the number 71, actually, right now. You're looking at the number 71 of Arthur Xavier. I believe Xavier either has made limited starts in Napa Fan.
He will be in the modifieds and the super trucks. But be his first ever start in the super truck feature tomorrow night. But currently, the fastest driver is the number 47 of Casey Nanico, and he's done for now.
Quick time by the number 5. That's going to be Dale Lightning. I believe Dale Lightning made his first start in this event exactly last year.
I believe you might actually be right about that. I think you are correct. And one thing too, this is a very important session, because if you don't make it on here, you might have a shot at not getting it into the main event. So if you get the fastest time in the session, you're good to go. You do not have to worry anymore. You're locked to the front row for the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout Saturday night main feature event. Madison Tall.
Speaking of, number 99, Quick Time goes to Madison Tall with a 19.501. Just a little bit, about a thousandth of a second slower than our, than what was going to be earlier on. Well, would have been the pole, but is still slow. And another one, Quick Time goes to, another Quick Time. Madison Tall and Arthur Xavier going back and forth on that whole lap right there. 2 quick times in the same lap at Madison Toll. Still holding on to the pole position. She's actually doing quite well. A 19.466 to match that pole time right now.
Yeah, and it would be great for her to lock her spot on. It's been a while since she's raced on that event. It might have been since last year's event here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout since she's last race on Napa Fan, but definitely a great run for her right there. And this will set the starting lineup for the first heat, and the first 17 outside the pole sitter will qualify their way in. 07. How about that right there? Now the 83.
Oh no, 83. Quick time to the number 83, Cole Speed, and I can tell you that last name definitely makes sense right there with that blistering lap time at 19.438 for Cole Speed. And another one, quick time, number 54, that is Igor Barreto.
And Igor Barreto won last week in the Turkey Hill Series at Iowa. And this place has a similar feel to Iowa, so not surprised to see Barreto get a good time right there.
Man, that is impressive. A 19 and another one, quick time, number 44, Chase Harris. A 19.413.
You know, and I will say this. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the IndyCar Series, but Chase Harris has won the past 2 races in the Haas IndyCar Series, made his first start in the Indy 250, then won 2 straight Haas IndyCar Series races. This is completely different than anything he's raced in yet on Napa Fan, but no surprise to see him run as fast as he is right now, and he's on the verge of locking his spot on to the feature event. This will actually be for the pole, not exactly. It won't exactly be for the pole. The fastest time in the heats will determine, I think. I think it's actually the fastest time in these sessions. So this may actually end up being heat number 2. And actually, this will be heat number 1 no matter what. But it could determine the outside starting positions for the main event if the fastest time in this session is slower than the fastest time in the next session.
Quick time, once again, number 54, Igor Barreto back on top, a 19.411.
Another good time there out of Igor Barreto. We're trying to figure it out, make sure you guys understand here, and we're getting these fast times going on all over the place, so that's why we're talking over each other. It's been a while since we've done a race together, just you and me, so we're still figuring it out, you know. And 2020, need I say more. But Barreto, great time for him right there. Chase Harris now second quickest. It's definitely going to be interesting once we get to the heat races. I think that's really what we're going to see, who is the fastest car for this whole super late model event.
Yeah, and I could definitely say right now, Igor Barreto, blistering lap time, but I honestly think it's going to be knocked down, though. The way people are coming in for fresh tires now, someone's going to knock it down at some point. I'm not saying I don't see Barreto getting the pole. I just see that, you know, we still have 3 minutes, 18 seconds left. And honestly, the way these people are going right now, or the way these drivers are going, I guarantee there's going to be another quick time.
We'll have to see if that's the case. Got a lot of guys here. Noah Cars is back. Great to see him back on Napa Fan. I believe this is going to be his first start of the year. This is the only event he's going to be part of in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout, but it's the big one. He's currently 3rd quickest right now in the number 88 machine. A great time for Noah Cars, and he was in this race last year as well. 82 machine also up there. We mentioned, actually we haven't mentioned Joshua Rush yet, but he also has a pretty good time. Going to be his second shootout. 42 machine up there as well. That is Thomas Troxel. And Troxel's had a pretty good year in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series so far. Won his first career race over in that series back at Talladega earlier this year. A lot of great drivers in this super late model feature, or at least trying to make it onto the super late model feature. Like I said, 9 of these guys will fail to qualify for the feature event. They're going to have to race their way through the LCQ. Of course, they can race their way into the heats later on. Like I mentioned, top 17 make it on outside the pole sitter for each event. But then if you don't make it on tonight, you're going to have to go to that LCQ, and if you're not one of the top 6 in that LCQ, unfortunately you're not going to be in the main feature on Saturday night.
Yeah, and I would like to mention also, if you look at the top three right now, time-wise, all of them separated by only 4/1000ths of a second. And that's how hectic this kind of qualifying effort is getting to be, because everyone wants to try and get a pole time, so that way they don't have to race their way into the feature event. They know that, the front row's an automatic lock-in, so anyone who's trying to get that pole right now is definitely going to do it. But right now, the way I see it, Igor Barreto, a minute and a half left. It looks like he's got it on lock at the moment.
You never know when someone could edge out that time. And he's only got that time by 2/1000ths of a second ahead of the 44 of Chase Harris, so we'll have to see if it sticks.
And speaking of edging out, where's Mr. Edge in all of this? Nicholas Samadeo.
Nicholas Samadeo didn't sign up this year. He's had to take the year off, so we'll definitely miss Samadeo in this year's event. But he will be in this event in the Herr Dash Series tonight, and also in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race tomorrow night, so he's still going to be part of this, just not in any of the special event features that we have for it, but definitely a very interesting class nonetheless, and all of these guys have a very good shot at possibly winning this event, especially Igor Barreto, and like I mentioned, he won the Turkey Hill Series race at Iowa last week. This place is very similar to Iowa in the way it races. It's obviously different, but it's got a very similar feel to it, so there's no surprise to see Barreto run strong here in qualifying, and if he can hold on to this time, which, oh boy, Dale Lightning came in there. He was close. We're going to have to watch for Lightning here. He could improve his time again.
I can see it. I maybe could see it. Let's see. Coming across the line.
Doesn't look like it was enough.
Improve.
He tied Chase Harris. Lightning and Harris. I think Harris actually has the tiebreaker on Lightning in Napa Fan wins, because Chase Harris has 2. I think Lightning at the most has 1, maybe.
Let's see. Cross the line. Is there an improvement? No, it looks like everybody's kind of backing down now. So Igor Barreto on the pole for
most likely.
Well, most likely on the pole, but he locks himself in on the front row, which is the biggest thing.
Not yet. Only the pole here locks on. It's only the first group, so only the top position will make it on and lock at this moment. The rest will have to lock in the heat race, and then we have the second group coming out here, and the fastest in that session will also lock on their spot. We know Igor Barreto's in the feature event, and we'll have to see if he can win the pole or not. That 19.411 is the time he set. If the fastest time in the second session is slower, then he will start on the pole for the feature event on Saturday night. If the time in the second session here is faster than the 19.411, then that driver will start on the pole for the main feature Saturday night. But Igor Barreto has the front row locked for the feature event in the super late models of the James M. Dean, I did it again, of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. That's $2 already. I've made that mistake. Chase Harris will have the advantage on Dale Lightning, so he will start second in his heat race. Will be heat number 1 right after the second group of qualifying here right now. That's how they line up in this session, and that is how they will line up for heat number 1 in just a few minutes. But before we get to that, let's get the second group out here and qualify them and see who locks their spot under the front row as well, along with Igor Barreto here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
And here we are for the second group in qualifying for the super late model event. Can't wait to get this one going. First driver to go onto the track, that is the number 16. And number 16 is Brad Stover, going out, getting his first laps on the track. So hopefully he gets a pretty decent run out of it. Who knows? He may not. They're all going to try and go for that pole time, though, that quick time, just to make sure that they can secure their spot on the front row for this event and not have to race through the heats or the LCQ.
And of course, the pole sitters will race in the heats, but they don't have to worry about getting eliminated as their front row spots will be locked on to the feature event. But if you're not one of that not one of those top 17 guys outside the pole sitter, then gonna have to race in that LCQ on Saturday afternoon, and that can definitely get interesting. But either way, fastest guy here will also lock on their front row for the feature event on Saturday night. If they beat a 19.411, that driver will start on the pole. If they do not, Igor Barreto will start on the pole for the feature event Saturday night. And this will make up heat number 2. We'll have to see if it's for the inside or the outside starting positions, because that fastest time will determine where these guys get gridded for the main event on Saturday.
Yeah, and so far right now, I mean, you're already seeing people getting better times currently at the moment. That number 16, Brad Stover, he's currently got the quick time at 19.785, but over time, track's going to really get rubbered in. And here we go, Brad Stover, another quick time, 19.644, a whole tenth quicker than the number 52 of Marty Johnson. So this is really getting interesting. Another quick time. Quick time goes to the number 2, Luke Rainey, a 19.601, almost a 19.6 flat. But, you know, it's getting interesting here. It's getting interesting. These times are starting to get a little quicker.
And they're going to continue to get quicker. Rainey again improving his time, and
quick time to Edwin Mendez, and quick time to the number 75, and another quick time to the number 24 of Nathan Smith. Oh boy.
Well, they were ready to get some quick times in there. Again!
A quick time to Edwin Mendez, a 19.52 flat. And a quick time to the number 41 of Jamison Thal,
Jamison Thal there with a quick time now. That's the first under 19.5. We'll have to see if they improve in this session to beat out Igor Barreto. If they don't, these guys will be fighting for the outside lane starting positions, and that might not necessarily be where you want to start for this race, so we'll have to see how it all goes down. But right now, 19.487, fastest time here in Group 2 of the Super Late Model qualifications.
Yeah, this is really getting heated up here. Like I said, you know, more people, the more these, the more the track gets rubbered in, the more the people are going to try and set quicker times. And right now, it looks like number 41 is going to be your quickest time out there right now. But remember, we still got about 6.5 minutes left in the session. We already know from the first group that, you know, these times could basically be obliterated in a nutshell.
They definitely can, and I think the 41 just tied. He tied the fastest time in the first session, 19.411 exact. Oh, brother, but Barreto has the tiebreaker because he has more wins than Jamison Thal does on Napa Van, so the whole complexion of the race could be determined because the driver has more wins than another, if that stands. But the fact that Thal got that time when he did would lead me to believe that somebody else is going to be able to beat it here in this second group of qualifying.
You could be right or you could be wrong at the same time, because, you know, we once saw it. Oh, a tie! Quick time to the 9, though. The 9 of Christian Russell, and a tie, too. And I believe Russell would get the tiebreaker.
I believe you are correct on that one. More starts than Jamison Thal at least, and possibly more wins. But my goodness, they're plateauing right at 19.41. There we go. It's done.
Quick time to the 10 now. That is Justin Zeidel. Only a 100th out there. Quick time to the 77.
I think this was last year's pole sitter. RJ Bishop, last year's pole sitter, going to the top of the board.
Man, and I mean, look, Christian Russell's not going down without a fight. He just went second quickest.
Neither
He's
is
going
Zeidel.
quick again. Zeidel going quick again. Nobody wants to give an inch here.
Went at the third right there. 19.404, but it'll be guaranteed that heat number 1 will be for the outside lane in the feature event. Igor Barreto will be starting on the outside pole. And right now, RJ Bishop looking to start on the pole for the feature event. And for heat number 2, it will be determining the inside lane starting positions for the feature event on Saturday night. But my goodness, RJ Bishop in the 77. This is basically the only event he runs on Napa Fan, but he did an excellent job last year before his engine failure. He's looking to get some redemption from what happened to him last year in this race and possibly go out there for a Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout race victory.
Yeah, he's definitely doing so in this particular case, and he's showing a point that he's coming back this year, and he's coming back with a full head of steam, and we can see that right now with his quick time of a 19.377. But you never know. I mean, this could be the plateau, or this could continue. Who knows? Something could come up.
He's kept that time for a while. Edwin Mendez came close there, 3.81. That's 4 1,000s off. Then the 10 machine of Justice L, Marty Johnson and Christian Russell, the top 5, 41 there as well. That is Jamison Thal, who held the fastest time for a while, but he's going to fall back a little bit there. But my goodness, it all happened real quickly there in the middle session, and RJ Bishop, no surprise whatsoever to see him get this good run. This is his event. He feels like he should have won it last year. He wants to win it this year in the main feature event of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
Yeah, he's coming back with a full head of steam, I can tell you that right now. I mean, that lap time did not come just because he was fast. He came with a little bit of spite out of that, just for the fact that he lost out on it last year. Now he's coming back, he's saying, you know what? I want to win this year, and I'm proving it tonight.
And speaking of winning last year, here is our defending race winner in the feature event of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout, Ashlyn Boyd. We remember last year's finish, don't we?
Yeah,
Photo side by side at the line. Of course, the caution to come out. It wasn't the official finish of the race, but Ashlyn Boyd, Luke Rainey, side by side of the line. Boyd got the advantage on Rainey for the feature win, and Boyd returning to the same ride he won this event in last year, and he's now 4th quickest. Looking for a good starting position in the heat here in just a moment. Of course, these guys will be heat number 2, so they're going to wait for heat number 1 to see how those guys fare on the racetrack, but definitely a great position right now for RJ Bishop, and picking up right where he left off last year. He definitely wants to get some redemption in this event, as he failed to finish in last year's feature event of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
And you can definitely see from Ashlyn Boyd's 4th quickest lap, he wants to try and go for 2 this year, and I definitely think, you know, that could be a good possibility. I mean, Ashlyn Boyd was quick last year, he's quick in qualifying right now. And I know he wants to keep running that number 74. I think that 74 is his good luck charm.
We'll have to see how it all goes down on Saturday night. Of course, hopefully Ashlyn Boyd can make it in. If he doesn't qualify his way in right here,
whoa!
We'll have it solidified yet. And we had a moment there between Marty Johnson and Luke Rainey. But as I was saying, if Ashlyn Boyd doesn't qualify his way in here, still a shot he might not make the show, because you still got to get through the heats. As long as you're one of the top 17, you're good to go. But if he doesn't make it there, still has the LCQ. So odds are, especially with that good starting position, that Ashlyn Boyd will be able to make it. But you never know what's going to happen in the heats. And Marty Johnson just had an issue right there in the 52. We could see a lot of carnage in the heat races here in just a moment. So going to be interesting to see how it all plays out here for the super late model feature. The whole event from top to bottom, the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, I mean, this qualifying effort just kind of shows, like, you know, people want to win this event. This is how big the event is, and I keep saying it time and time again, but I'm going to be honest, like, it is a big event, and I'm glad to have made this event, and I mean, I'm telling you right now, you know, this is going to be a fun night, or these are going to be some fun nights leading up to a huge event.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we got a lot of coming up here on Thursday night. Haven't even had any racing in. It's already been intense out there with these qualifying sessions. Going to get the super late model heats going on here in just a moment. And then the Chick-fil-A Cup Series heats, the StreetStock feature, and the Herr's Dash Series finale all tonight here from North Wilkesboro. So much great action coming your way here on Napa Fan in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. And this is just the first night of action. Tomorrow night, we got the Modifieds qualifying. Then we have ourselves the Super Truck feature, the Late Model Stock feature, and then I'd say the close second granddaddy in this race, the Southern States 400 and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, the throwback race for those guys. That's going to be a fun one tomorrow night. And then Saturday matinee, we got ourselves the heats for the Modifieds and the LCQ for the super late models. And then Saturday night, the Modified feature, 76 laps for those guys, and 100 lap feature for the super late models in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. So much great stuff coming your way this weekend here from North Wilkesboro on Napa Fan. And it's not like the session's ever going to end. They've added so much time to this one. But RJ Bishop most likely is going to hold on to that top position and start on the pole for the feature event Saturday night right here from North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, this race, or this qualifying effort, like, this is just a really good qualifying deal right here. The super late models, they always put on a show, and I can tell you, we're in qualifying. We haven't even gotten to the race yet, and they put on a show.
And they're going to put on more of a show right now here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. This will be the starting lineup for heat number 2. Heat number 1 was group number 1. It'll be determining the outside starting positions for the feature event on Saturday night. RJ Bishop wins the pole for the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout main feature. He'll start alongside Igor Barreto on Saturday night for the main event, but they're all going to be in the heat races coming right up here on NABAFan. Hope you stick around. We're just getting started here on this Thursday night here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway.
And here we go. This is going to be the first heat for the super late models to try and lock themselves into the feature event or go to the LCQ. And I think this is going to be a pretty hectic one considering what we've seen in qualifying. I think this is going to be a pretty hectic race. Napa fan, do you think this is going to be a pretty hectic race, a little heat race here for anyone trying to lock their way in?
It definitely will be. These guys are definitely going to be going all out for this one, and especially this guys in the back. We have a lot of guys in the back that we've yet to mention so far in this event. Back in there, I believe that is the 45 of Parker Smith, guys like that. Jesse Turner's kind of midway through the field as well in the 17 machine. I believe he won one of these heat races last year, so you know, if you're one of those top 17 guys, with the exception of Igor Barreto, you're good to go. But back in there, the racing is going to be intense because if you don't make it on, odds are you're going to have a tough time in that LCQ. We're just going to have to see how it all goes down. 20 laps here. Cautions are turned on. So if a wreck happens, we're going to throw the yellow flag as long as it's on the racing surface. So going to be an interesting heat for the super late models here. Going to determine the outside lane starting positions for the feature event on Saturday night. 20 laps of action. Let's get this one started. Igor Barreto and Chase Harris on row number 1. Barreto's locked into the show no matter what happens to him in this race. He will be starting on the outside pole for the feature event. Dale Lightning and Noah Cars in row number 2. 82 machine of Joshua Rush. Great position for him to start in this event. Alongside number 42 of Thomas Troxel. Number 99, Madison Toll to the inside of the 83 of Cole Speed, and then the 71 machine of Arthur Xavier to the inside of the 56, driven by Noah Clifton. That's the top 10 starting positions. Hopefully we'll get through everybody throughout this heat race and get you acquainted with all the drivers. But Alex, I think it's time to finally throw the green flag and do some racing here in North Wilkesboro.
Yes, it is. Green flag is out. We are racing, and it looks like Chase Harris got a really good jump on the start there. But Igor Barreto 3 wide already for the lead here between Chase Harris, Igor Barreto, and, oh, man, I think...
That's Dale Lightning there,
number 5. No, yeah, I knew that was Dale Lightning. I was about to say, I think it looks like Dale Lightning had to just think better of it. But Igor Barreto currently out front. Dale Lightning in second. Third place, Chase Harris. Looks like so far the top 3 have broken away.
Joshua Rush, Thomas Troxel, Noah Cars. That's intense. Midway through the field right there. Cars stuck in that outside lane, 3 wide. It's a tough place to be. He's going to continue to fall back. Right now, that last lap, the last transfer position goes to the number 1 of Buck Hover. And right now, everyone behind Buck Hover would have to go to the LCQ. This is a very, very stressful position for these guys to be in, and especially if somebody wrecks, that means they're going to the LCQ, because I don't think they're going to be able to make up any time if they stay on the racetrack with only a 20-lap race. Back to the race lead. I'm telling you, they're right on Igor Barreto here. Dale Lightning, Chase Harris trying to get around this 54. They want to show Igor Barreto that they're going to have to worry about him in the feature event on Saturday night.
Yeah, and Dale Lightning's doing a really good job, and I'm not trying to have anyone else kind of just not bash anyone else, but I'm telling you, Dale Lightning, he seems the bigger threat of Igor Barreto right now than Chase Harris.
Chris Chase Harris is hanging with these guys very well. Lightning, he might have the run this time to the inside for the race lead on Igor Barreto. And entering turn number 1, and we got somebody around. That's the 07 of Nick Kennedy, who went into the inside wall. They're now stacking up off the corner, and Noah Cars continues to fall back in the 88. Going to be interesting to see where he falls this next lap around, but we're going to watch on this. This is some intense stuff here midway through the field, right around the transfer positions as well. 18th place, number 25, and now Noah Cars in that position. 4 wide here in this heat. It's not going to work out too well for the 57 in the inside wall. Austin Johnson goes around. No caution. The field is not coming towards him yet. Chase Harris has taken the race lead away. So much going on in this heat race. Igor Barreto now starting to fall back. Here comes Joshua Rush in the 82. And Austin Johnson is still here in the 57. They've got to call the caution. Oh, boy!
Madison Toll! Watch out for that!
They're not going to be happy with him after this one. Look at all these guys getting held up in the back.
Yeah,
I don't understand. I think Austin Johnson had the opportunity to come down the pit lane, and he didn't. But my goodness, that was intense right there for the driver of the number 57, Austin Johnson. He'll have to go to the LCQ. Meanwhile, Chase Harris, he's been on a roll lately, won 2 straight IndyCar races, and now looking to win his first ever race in a late model. It does not count as an official Napa fan win this heat race, but my goodness, he's looking pretty strong right now, but Dale Lightning's right there looking to take the lead away from him.
Yeah, well, from what we've seen from Dale Lightning so far, he really kind of puts the fear in a lot of the drivers in back of him to force a mistake, and then the moment he sees that, he takes his advantage, goes for the pass, and I'm telling you, my money's on Dale Lightning for this one. I'm not saying anything against Chase Harris, it's just I've seen what Dale Lightning does. He does a pretty good job getting it done here.
We'll have to see how it all goes down. It's calmed down back in the field. The transfer position right now to the number 12. As they cross the line this time by to update, it is still the number 12 machine of, or should I say, Trey Smith in that ride, holding on to that last transfer position. Noah Cars is currently outside looking in. Trey Smith getting to the inside of the 25 of Fisher G, and Noah Cars trying to do the same. Guys who are currently out of it. Nikolay Sykes in the 118, the 1 of Buck Hover, the 83 of Cole Speed, the 26 of Mitchell Collins, who won the late model stock feature last year, and the number 40 machine there of Ryan Durrani, and of course, the other driver who is a lap down now, Austin Johnson. I believe he's out of this heat race. He's going to have to go to the LCQ. Meanwhile, the battle is on for second. Dale Lightning, Joshua Rush, and Igor Barreto. Chase Harris looking to pull away with this heat win here. Surprisingly, we've gone caution-free so far in this heat. What do you make of that?
That is rather impressive. I mean, you could have said that, you know, the whole deal that happened there earlier on could have considered a caution, but, you know, considering it wasn't, it's still some pretty interesting racing right there.
And of course, hopefully, you've seen the little play-in box there of the passes for the race lead when Chase Harris took it away, so you guys know what happened there, but it looks like Chase Harris might pull away with this one in heat number 1, which means he will start in the 4th position for the feature event on Saturday night. Dale Lightning, it looks like he has a bit of damage in the number 5 machine, and Igor Barreto's coming back through the field here in the 54 up to 3rd. Joshua Rush and Thomas Troxel, the top 5 right now. Back to the transfer positions. This is where it's getting intense. Noah Cars right now in that last transfer slot. Fisher G looking to take it away from him. This is for the spot in the feature event. The guy who finishes lower of these two will most likely have to go to the LCQ and risk getting eliminated in another one.
Oh!
The 12 hard in the wall. He's going to get into Fisher G in a round. That's going to end heat number 1 here in North Wilkesboro. A huge wreck in the back of the field. And the 12 machine of Trey Smith will fail to advance on the night. He's going to have to go to the LCQ. Fisher G will have to do the same.
We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen at some point. And it has occurred.
Chase Harris will win Heat 1 in the super late models. Man, this event is something else, and we are just getting started. Pretty good one so far here at North Wilkesboro, I might say.
Yeah, I would definitely say. And Chase Harris, man, he flew under my radar throughout the entire heat race, and it looks like he's going to manage to take one away tonight. That is pretty impressive. And
of course, Dale Lightning had a great run there as well. He'll start 6th most likely. Igor Barreto will start in the 2nd position for the feature event. And with that wreck, Nikolay Sykes is going to get the last transfer position into the main feature. Unfortunately, the 26 machine of Mitchell Collins, the 83 of Cole Speed, and the 40 machine of Ryan Durrani, as well as the 12 driven by Trey Smith, the 25 of Fisher G. They're going to have to go to the LCQ. Same with
the
Austin
57
Johnson.
of Austin Johnson.
Well, coming around, take the checkered flag in heat number 1 of the super late models. Chase Harris wins it. He'll start 4th in the feature event on Saturday night. Let's go ahead and see what happens to bring out the caution here in the first heat of the super late models in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
Yeah, Trey Smith washes up on Jesse Turner, and then havoc ensues afterwards. Fisher G nowhere to go. and from there havoc ensued, and it kind of ruined a couple people's nights. People who were trying to do it, and I believe Trey Smith was battling with Jesse Turner. I believe that was for a transfer spot. But
it was just inside, so they weren't actually battling for a transfer position, but trying to battle for a better starting position in the feature. But Turner's going to be all right. He'll be able to advance on, even though he gained some damage from that. But the same cannot be said for Trey Smith. He'll have to go to the LCQ Saturday at noon Eastern Time right here on Napa Fan. We got the matinee for these guys, and they don't want to be in it, but they will have to be. Chase Harris will win heat number 1. That is 3 straight races he has been in. He's gone the victory lane here on Napa Fan. Now, like I said, this race itself, this heat race, does not count as an official Napa Fan win, but how about Chase Harris? This guy is unbelievable. He's been in 4 events, and he's won 3 of them. It's supernatural. Chase Harris wins Heat 1. He'll start 4th. This is for the outside lane starting positions from Nikolai Sykes on up. That is how they will line up on the outside lane for the main feature event. Mitchell Collins, Cole Speed, Ryan Durrani, Trey Smith, Buck Hover, Fisher G, and Austin Johnson will go on to the LCQ on Saturday. Final thoughts on this heat race before we move on to Heat 2 of the Super Late Models.
Man, this was an intense one, and I honestly cannot wait for the second one now.
It's going to be good. Let's get on to Heat number 2. Going to determine the inside lane starting positions for the feature event on Saturday night. Let's see how it all goes down here from North Wilkesboro.
And welcome back. We are here for Heat number 2 of the Super Late Models. This is going to determine the inside row for the race, and we have a bit of deja vu here with RJ Bishop being your pole sitter. Once again, he knows how to get around North Wilkesboro, and I can tell you that much. This year and last year, it's a little bit of similarities with a little bit of differences. Napa Fan, our first heat race was pretty hectic. How do you think this second one's going to play out?
I think it's going to be just as hectic, and with what we saw in that first heat, I think we're in store for another treat. And like you mentioned, RJ Bishop has won the pole for this main feature event 2 years in a row now. He's the guy to beat. Of course, we know what happened to him last year. He does not want that to happen to him again, but he definitely wants to make sure he has a good car. I think he's going to win this heat race. We're just going to have to see. But he also got the winner of the feature event last year, Ashlyn Boyd, starting in 4th for this heat. Got a lot of strong drivers in this one, but remember, top 17 with the exception of RJ Bishop advance on to the feature event, and then the rest of the guys have to go to the LCQ. This will determine the inside lane starting positions for the feature event on Saturday night. RJ Bishop going to be leading us to the green flag here for heat number 2. Alongside him, Edwin Mendez in the number 4, row number 2. Justin Zidell in the number 10 to the inside of Ashlyn Boyd. The number 67 machine, that is driven by Addy Martinez. First career start for him. He's to the inside of the 51 machine, driven by Josh King, who's been doing pretty good in the Turkey Hill Series so far this year. Number 58, that is Owen, or should I say Zach Winkle in the 58 machine alongside Marty Johnson. Mr. NOFSRL himself there in row number 4. Then the 29 machine of Ace Garcia to the inside of Christian Russell in the number 9. Here we go, heat number 2. Take it away, Alex. Should be another good one here from North Wilkesboro.
All right, here we go. Up through the gears. Here we go. Green flag here at North Wilkesboro. Off on the turn 1, RJ Bishop gets a great jump over Edwin Mendez so far, but Mendez going to go back to the inside, trying to do a little bit of a switchback move on Bishop. He's going to continue trying to take that lead, and it looks like he might clear him off of 4. New leader, give it to Edwin Mendez.
He's kind of lead lap number 1, and Bishop just overshot turn 1 right there. Had such a good run, he didn't think to keep the inside or slow down enough so that Mendez connected to the inside of him. But Edwin Mendez with a great run on the start, and way up the racetrack went Ashlyn Boyd. Not going to work out too long for him right there, but more madness in the middle of this pack right here. Got all these guys fighting for positions. There's Bradley Ream in the middle of all this. He's currently just inside the transfer position, the number 19. Should have said number 18. Driven by Brandon Nelson, currently in the last transfer position, but it's pandemonium in the middle of the pack right now. We're going to have to wait and see how that all sorts out. Back up front, RJ Bishop right there on the back bumper of Edwin Mendez, and to the inside for the race lead here in heat number 2.
Yeah, I told you at the beginning here in qualifying for the Super Late Models, I said RJ Bishop is here. He wants redemption. He's saying, I'm not playing around. I just want to show you what I'm capable of. And it looks like he's going to do that right now. Back to the lead is RJ Bishop, and Justin Zidell followed him right with the inside.
And Zidell might follow him to the inside for the race lead. Zidell looking really strong right now in the number 10 machine. We know is a strong driver. Very successful in the Haas IndyCar Series, a champion over there. How about Addy Martinez? First time he's ever raced on Napa Fan, and here he is battling with Mendez, Bishop, and Zidell. And Bishop going to cross over again on Zidell for the race lead. Some good stuff up front here in Heat 2 of the Super Late Models.
Yeah, the top 4, make it the top 5. Basically covered under a blanket. Don't count out Ashland Boyd because he's currently in the 74. Trying to go.
Somebody had an issue. Brandon Nelson went around in the 18, and he's going to fall to the back of the field. No caution came out, as it was at the back of the field. And here he comes, looking to the inside of Justin Zidell. That is for the second position. Here comes Ashland Boyd in the 74 to the inside of Edwin Mendez. Martinez going to bump there on Zidell. And back in there, around goes the 16. Ooh. And they're going to stack it up and slow it down. Our first caution in Heat 2. Luke Rainey got spun around a little bit. He was runner-up in this race last year. And the 16 machine there, that is Brad Stover. Still hasn't been able to get that thing refired back up. That's going to help Brandon Nelson to rejoin this pack. And
watch out!
They're going to jam it up just a little bit there.
Check up, baby. Check up.
Thankfully, nothing's going to be too major in damage for these guys, but
let's hope.
Brad Stover's going to go a lap down because of this. It looks like Stover's going to have to go to the LCQ. And same goes for the 24 there of Nathan Smith.
They're kind of stuck together. We might need a tow truck to get them apart. Can someone just stop them and get a tow truck, please?
Hopefully they can figure it out eventually. Tough break for those guys. They're going to figure it back out up front. RJ Bishop, the race leader. Finally, Brad Stover gets it fired back up. Nathan Smith just kept on running into him there. They're going to go a lap down.
He kept dragging him. He just kept dragging him for a couple hundred yards.
Man, the Nelsons have not had a good run here in Heat 2. Brock Nelson, Brandon Nelson's brother, with damage. It looks like Brock Nelson's going to have to go to the LCQ. Oh, and Marty in the 52 got caught up in this one as well. And it looks like Marty's going to have to go to the LCQ too. My goodness. Well, let's go ahead and see what happens. Bring up the first caution here in the second heat of the Super Late Models at North Wilkesboro.
Yep. So 3 wide at this race. A little washed up. And that's what triggered this whole mess. And Brad Stover, he tried to fire it back up and got a little bit of help. He got a little bit of help from
Nathan Smith. A lot of help. I mean, it actually really wasn't that much help there from Nathan Smith.
No.
The 8 there of Owen Miles got caught behind. That was Micah Knapp who went around in the 98 machine. But he was able to drive around and stay within a transfer position for the moment. But then, that's how Marty got his damage. He ended up rear-ending somebody, and I do believe Marty's going to be out of this heat race. He's going to have to go to the LCQ because of that tough break there for Marty Johnson. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes here in this event.
I believe that's 2 years in a row now Marty's going to make it to the LCQ.
He might be. He might have been in the LCQ last year as well for this one. Tough break for Marty Johnson. Hopefully he'll have a good run on Saturday in the LCQ. But RJ Bishop still leads. Let's see if he gets the race victory here in the second heat of the Super Late Models at the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
Back at it again here for the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Late model, or super late model, I should say. I almost said late model stock. Super late model second heat race. Get ready to go back for the restart. RJ Bishop, your leader. Justin Zidell, second. And your top 3 going to be Addy
Martinez there in third. Ashland Boyd,
fourth, Ashland Boyd, and top 5, Edwin Mendez. Up through the gears. Here we go. Once again, green flag is out. RJ Bishop really didn't get as good of a jump on the restart as he did on the initial start. It's going to help Justin Zidell just really move up on the inside there. Zidell to the inside now of RJ Bishop. Is Addy Martinez going to follow? Maybe.
Not quite yet. There goes Zidell for the race lead on RJ Bishop. Ashland Boyd really putting the side to the 67 right there. Now Boyd going on Bishop for second. That's going to really help out Zidell. If Zidell wins this race, he'll start third in the feature event on Saturday night. Out of the race Marty Johnson's actually still out there in the 52 on the lead lap. Brandon Nelson trying to advance his way in. Number 19 of Brock Nelson will have to go to the LCQ, no doubt about that. He's a lap down. Nathan Smith and Brad Stover as well. Also a lap down in this heat. They're also going to have to go to the LCQ. Now the battle is on. Number 33, driven by Landon Smith Jr. is in the last transfer position. Number 6 there with a little bit of damage. That's William Brock currently outside looking in. Then you got the 45 of Parker Smith. Luke Rainey in the 2, who was runner-up in the feature last year. Nathan Smith a lap down. Brandon Nelson, number 50 machine as well. Isaac Nichols. Great to see Isaac back. It's been a while since our friend from down under has been racing here on Nap Van, but great to see our mate come back there in number 50. Unfortunately for him, it looks like he'll have to go to the LCQ as well. And then you got the number 16 of Brad Stover, who's a lap down, and same with Brock Nelson. But here we go. Battle for the heat win. Ashland Boyd, RJ Bishop looking to chase down Justin Zeidel. These are some of the best drivers in this event, I do believe. And here they are battling it out for a win in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, Ashland Boyd, that last lap really closing up on the gap here between him and Zeidel. So I wouldn't be surprised here if on the last lap he's catching up to him and on the outside looking in on this one.
Good run for Zach Winkle in the 58 machine, looking to the inside of Edwin Mendez for position. White flag in Heat 2 of the super late models. It looks like Justin Zeidel will be starting in the 3rd position for the feature event of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. And then RJ Bishop will be leading us to the green flag in the feature event. A good run for Bishop. Couldn't really hold on at the start, but still a great run. Didn't wreck the race car, and that's what counts. Justin Zeidel wins Heat 2 in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. And that final transfer position in 18th. Looks like it's going to go to Luke Rainey in the number 2 machine.
Squeaking in Luke Rainey. Man, good job.
And he was, like I said, was runner-up in this race last year, runner-up in the feature. Good to see him make it on. Number 45, that is Parker Smith, the 8 machine of Owen Miles, the 24 of Nathan Smith, the 50 machine of Isaac Nichols, the 16 of Brandon Nelson, 52 of Marty Johnson, 18, or should I say 16 of Brad Stover, the 18 of Brandon Nelson, and the 19 of Brock Nelson. All going to have to go to the LCQ. Winner of this race, Justin Zeidel. Ashland Boyd, RJ Bishop, Zach Winkle. With the exception of RJ Bishop starting on the pole position, that is how they'll line up on the inside lane for the feature event on Saturday night. Remember when we're doing these things, but Luke Rainey on up. They're in the feature. They don't have to worry. Parker Smith on down will have to be in the LCQ and race their way in on Saturday afternoon. But either way, how about that, Alex? What a way to start off this event here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
Man, that was actually some pretty good racing right there. Especially great racing by Luke Rainey there. He was kind of on that outside looking in bit. I mean, we thought he was not going to make it. He was going to have to go to the LCQ. He made a pretty good comeback, and he's just barely going to make it in on the skin of his teeth. What an awesome job.
A lot of guys we didn't really get to mention yet that are going to be racing on Saturday. Guys like Daniel McMillan, Jamison Thal, Trey Wright, Bradley Ream, Micah Knapp, Alexander Rowe, Landon Smith Jr., William Brock, Christian Russell, Luke Rainey. They're all in there. Kind of just was in the middle of the pack all this race, but they're all going to be racing for that feature event on Saturday night. Now, the other feature event that we're really excited for, the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Throwback Race. You're finally going to see these throwbacks racing on this racetrack. Chick-fil-A Cup Series Southern States 400 Heats coming up right now here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout from North Wilkesboro. And we are back here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, ready to get the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Heats underway. And we are going to be setting the inside lane here in heat number 1 for the Southern States 400. It's going to be tomorrow night at around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Going to be during tomorrow night's features during the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. But tonight here on the first night of the shootout, we're going to have these guys do some heat races. And with what we saw in the super late model heats earlier, I'd imagine we're going to have a pretty crazy heat here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, don't you think?
Yeah, I really think that it is. I mean, I can tell you right now, this is going to be a pretty interesting one. I mean, you know, we're doing a lot less now we're doing a lot more horsepower now compared to what we were before. So I think tonight's going to be a really good one.
It definitely will be. Of course, in qualifying last night for these guys, they were posting speeds that were faster than the late models earlier tonight. So we're in store for a good one here. Like I mentioned, this heat will set up the inside lane. Nobody gets eliminated. All the 42 drivers in both of these heats are going to be in tomorrow night's race, so nobody has to worry about getting eliminated from competing. All these guys will be in the event, but we got a lot of cool throwbacks to show you guys, as well as you can already see so many of them in this race. And whoever wins this heat will start on the pole for tomorrow night, Southern States 400 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Nathan Baird will start on the pole for this heat race here. He's alongside Fisher G in this number 7. Both of these guys have won races so far this season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and they're both in the wild card race, so tomorrow night's race could be very pivotal towards them getting good points towards that wild card championship. Number 75, Matt Dallio to the inside of Shane Lake in row number 2. Landon Smith Jr., unchartered driver to the inside of Ryan Durrani. Mitchell Henderson and Tristan Allen in row number 4. Then Ace Garcia and last year's Southern States 400 winner Trey Bartow make up row number 5. Pace car's going to pull in. Heat number 1 about to begin. Who do you think's going to win it here tonight, Alex, in heat number 1?
Honestly, I got to go with Fisher G and that little throwback right there to Alan Kowicki, one of my favorite racing drivers of all time.
We'll have to see if he'll do a Polish victory lap here tonight. Green flag in the air. Heat number 1 of the Southern States 400 is green from North Wilkesboro.
Already off to a good start as Nathan Baird is going to be right there, not doing too bad off the line. He's really trying to hold the line with Fisher G doing all that. Behind them, Matt Dallio battling for second on Fisher G. Looks like he'll complete the pass and ending lap 1.
Nathan Baird's going to lead the first lap here in heat number 1. Of course, there aren't any points involved with this race, and it does not count as an official Napa fan win either, so it's all about getting the pole position for tomorrow night's event. But it's also about showcasing these throwback schemes as well. Of course, Matt Dallio driving a Neil Bonnet throwback in that number 75. We mentioned last night that Shane Lake and his teammate Thomas Troxel throwing back to some Lamaze schemes. Then Alex mentioned Alan Kowicki, the throwback for Fisher G right there. But Landon Smith Jr. is an unchartered driver. He doesn't have a throwback, and he's trying to make some noise here at North Wilkesboro. He's to the inside of Fisher G now for 4th. That inside lane working pretty well right now for these guys. Ace Garcia, Ryan Durrani back in here. Mitchell Henderson trying to get a good run as well. And Ace Garcia throwing back to Tim Flock's old machine from the 1950s in number 81. Definitely looking pretty strong right now here, trying to get a good starting position for tomorrow night's race. But back up front, Nathan Baird continuing the lead. Matt Dallio in second right behind.
Yeah, the way Matt Dallio's kind of keeping a little bit of a rhythm going right now in this race, it really kind of shows, you know, the whole deal with how everything is. We have a 3-wide battle here between Mitchell Henderson, Fisher G, and others.
And Matt Dallio might have a run now on Nathan Baird. Couldn't quite get to the inside there. But these guys are really all over the place. Fisher G continues to fall back in this one. You got Herr and Alonso there in the 28, won 2 weeks ago. Of course, Nathan Baird, defending race winner in the Chick-fil-A Cup. He's got the race victory at Portland last week. All these guys trying to figure out Mitchell Henderson. Throwing back to Jason Richards, V8 Supercars 2007 scheme. Unfortunately, passed away in 2011, but Mitchell Henderson, his owner Stuart Gratton, and Noah Cliff and all those guys from down under, they really love this V8 Supercars down there. And cool to see a different type of throwback here in this one. And for the race lead, Matt Dallio to the inside of Nathan Baird. And Dallio looks to take it away. Now, Dallio's been kind of close to making the chase as of late. It's been a bit of a tough season, but he's rebounded nicely. He's had a few good runs so far this season. But did fall back quite a bit after the Portland race. And in the wall, Landon Smith Jr. tapped it hard.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for Landon Smith Jr. Gets up into the wall, but he's able to still keep going, which is still something better off, and it's pretty good right now, so he's going to continue trying to race. He didn't really drop out of the top 5, so that's always so good.
Not yet,
but meanwhile,
there he goes, Ryan Durrani to the inside. And I think something that's important to mention, too, in tomorrow's race, there will be no scheduled pit stops either, so they're going to be able to make the whole race on one tank of gas, so where you start is going to mean a lot. And that's why Matt Dallio went full force on the inside of Nathan Baird there for the race lead. Starting to fan it down through the field. A pretty calm heat right here. A little bit different than what we saw in the super late models earlier on. You got Sebastian Kukulon back here. Got Diego Pez throwing it back to Dale Jarrett. Another Dale Earnhardt throwback. Couple Dale Earnhardt throwbacks right here with Sebastian Kukulon and Silas Orta. And then Patrick Smith there throwing it back to Mike Cope in the 1998 Slim Jim scheme. So A lot of cool throwbacks that we're seeing here on the racetrack right now. There's Nathan Stapleton throwing back to Kevin Harvick in 2005 in the Busch Series, and then you got Iquan Haslam there throwing back to Jimmy Johnson's only win in the Busch Series. So much cool stuff on the racetrack here, even including this one. It may look like a newer scheme, but this is Trey Bartow, defending winner of the Southern States 400, throwing back to his first ride in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. This is last season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, driving for Titan Fury Motorsports. Currently running in the 8th position, pretty good position right now. That'll put him 15th on the starting grid for tomorrow. Meanwhile, here comes Ace Garcia. Let's got Jacques Flacco in that car or something like that. Trying to get to the inside of Nathan Baird, but couldn't quite get the run off at turn 4. Now he might have a run on the 16 again.
Yeah, I mean, the way he's running right now, you know, he's really keeping a line going, and I mean, he's driving really aggressive. You know, he's coming down close to the end of the heat, and as you said, you know, every starting position counts, and it looks like with him, he's going to try and get the better position, so that way he's in a better spot in tomorrow's race.
Yeah, and if Ace Garcia finishes in the 2nd position, that means he will finish in the 3rd, or should I say start in the 3rd position for tomorrow's Southern States 400. Shane Lake in the 4th position, Ryan Durrani up to 5th in the Matt Kenseth Arby's throwback. And a good run for all these guys. Now we'll have to see if Ace Garcia has a shot on Matt Dalio. I think that 81 might have the fastest car on the racetrack, and Matt Dalio looks like he might be losing a bit of his lead there compared to the number 81. Got side-by-side racing right now between Brett Sierra and Landon Smith Jr. Just trying to get any position they can to get that better starting position for tomorrow's race. Like I said, no pit stops. Where you start means quite a bit in tomorrow's event. There's the number 6, Nikolai Sykes, to the inside of here, Joe Milano. Mark Davidson, the only guy without a throwback. 3 wide to the inside of those guys back in the pack.
Yeah, Mark Davidson's kind of trying to, I don't really know how to say it, but spoil the party for some of these throwback racers and try and be one of those that wins without a throwback.
There's never been a throwback race where a driver has won without a throwback before. We got some battling going on here. Durrani got around Shane Lake. Mitchell Henderson now closing in on the 15. Ace Garcia, he's there. Just does he have enough time? He's been closing in the Matt Dalio ever so slightly these last few laps. White flag in the air for heat number 1 in the Southern States 400 for Matt Dalio in the 75.
Yeah, he's been really doing a great job ever since taking the lead. And I can tell you right now, it doesn't look like 2nd place is going to get to him. So Matt Dalio is going to take the win here in heat number 1.
I don't know. Here comes Garcia on the inside. Not going to be enough. Matt Dalio will start on the pole for the Southern States 400 tomorrow here on Napa. Great run there for Dalio on the 75. That Neil Bonnet throwback. He switched the number over the 75 for this very throwback to be run. And he paid it off. He'll be leading the field of the green flag tomorrow in the Southern States 400 with Ace Garcia starting in 3rd. Nathan Baird will be starting 5th. Ryan Durrani will be starting 7th. And Shane Lake will be starting in the 9th position. Caution-free heat. That was nice to see. They raced pretty clean, but it was still good racing out there. How do you think we're going to... Well, actually, what I should say... I don't know. We've been doing a lot of recording tonight. Let's give us a little break. What do you think we're going to see in tomorrow night's race here for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series? 80 laps with 42 cars, considering what we saw here in this first heat.
Honestly, I think we're going to see probably about the same as what we kind of saw tonight, but I think with double the amount of field and stuff like that, I feel like it's going to be a little more racy, a little more action-y, and I feel like there's going to be a lot more passing, maybe a few incidents here and there on track, but other than that, I'd say it's probably going to be about the same.
We'll have to see. It could be a little bit more wild. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and we don't know what's going to happen later on the night with all the other features, so... Still got one more heat left to go. We're going to set the outside lane starting positions. That's how to line up on the inside lane for tomorrow's race. These guys might be at the advantage starting on that inside lane in tomorrow's Southern States 400. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're not done yet. Let's get to heat number 2 here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series for the Southern States 400. Going to be run tomorrow. We got the second heat here on Thursday night during the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. And here we go. Heat number 2 in the Southern States 400. Chick-fil-A Cup Series racing heat races for the second time this season. We did it at Daytona. We're going to do it for this race here. kind of be in the spirit of heat races for the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Glad you're with us here on this Thursday evening. So got a lot more racing left to go after this one. We got the StreetStock feature coming up right after this, and then the Herr's Dash Series finale for season number 4 right here at North Wilkesboro. But now, these guys are going to be battling for that outside lane starting position. Do you think this race is going to be as crazy, or as mild, I should say, as the first race that we had for these guys? Or do you think it's going to end up being a little bit more wild than what we saw just a moment ago?
I think it's going to be a little bit more wild, in my opinion, just because of the fact of, we've seen what that race was like with a lot of passing and all that, but these guys right here are trying to really kind of be the decider of the field here. So I think it's going to be a little more rowdy tonight than usual.
I think it will be. We'll have to see. It's been rowdy already with super late models and their heat races. It wasn't as rowdy with the Chick-fil-A Cups just a moment ago, but we'll have to see if their second heat is just as wild. Get these guys to roll off here. This will determine the outside lane starting positions for tomorrow night. Southern States 400. 80 laps tomorrow night, 20 laps right now. Number 39, Wyatt Quayle on the pole alongside Andrew Miller, Eli Bright, and Cameron Garlington in row number 2. Cody Sill, Dale Lightning in row 3. Keegan Thompson, Thomas Troxel, and then Keyshawn Richardson and Nicholas Samadillo in row number 5. Got some great throwbacks out here, especially Eli Bright throwing back to Dale Jr. Cameron Garlington throwing back to David Reagan. Cody Sill throwing back to John Andretti, one of the 3 John Andretti schemes we have here in this heat, actually. As Jesse Turner and Brad Silver also throwing back to John Andretti, who unfortunately passed away earlier in the year. Great opportunity to honor him. And we're green flag racing here for Heat 2 of the Southern States 400. Wyatt Quayle with the jump on the start. Eli Bright trying to get an advantage on the inside of Andrew Miller. But Quayle pulling out ahead. And this is a big opportunity for Quayle. He wants to move up in the wild card standings. I believe he's last of all the guys in that wild card race. He won at Bristol earlier this year. A win would give him a lot more points and shoot him up in that wild card race. With only 5 races left to go before the regular season ends, it's go time for all these guys trying to fight their way into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I said it in qualifying or sometime earlier before this heat race where I said, everybody has to, or is kind of on their toes here for these last few weeks. They just want to make sure that they can be able to get through this and that they can be more prepared when it comes to playoff time or chase time, so that way when it comes around, they're more well prepared and they're more comfortable in the position instead of trying to grind it out every week.
Wyatt Quayle almost hit the outside wall right there. He's pulled out pretty nicely, but Eli Bright and Andrew Miller right there. Cody Sill going to get to the inside of Cameron Garlington. And you got Keyshawn Richardson, uncharted driver, looking to spoil the party here in the 08 machine. Keegan Thompson, we mentioned last night, he's throwing back to Scott Bloomquist in his World of Outlaws scheme there. Alexander Rowe throwing back to Ken Schrader. Go to the back of the field here. Nicholas Samadillo's falling back quite a bit there. 3 wide with Zachary Fitzwater and Jesse Turner. Then you got LJ Sameto back in here as well in the 66 machine. Throwing back to Morgan Shepard and his old Cheerwine scheme from the 90s. That's a pretty cool one there for North State Racing. Of course, this is North Carolina. This is the North State. Pretty sure David Johnson would love to see one of his drivers get the race victory in tomorrow night's event. The top 3 have pulled away here in heat number 2. Wyatt Quayle, Eli Bright, and Andrew Miller. You think these guys will close in, or have they battled so much that they're not going to have a shot at getting this race victory in heat number 2?
Honestly, in my opinion, I think the top 3 have really made such a gap to where I feel like if a caution came out, it would help them. But if we keep green for the majority of this race, I can guarantee you that, top 3 are going to pull away a little more. Because I feel like what they're doing right now is a little more of like drafting, if you would. But as you can see right now, battling for second, that's not really going to help.
Well, Andrew Miller and Eli Bright, they're pretty close to Wyatt Quayle. Everybody else is a little ways behind. Keyshawn Richardson definitely wants to play spoiler in this race as an uncharted driver. Up to the 4th position there, got around Cody Sill. Great run right now for Alexander Rowe as well. Alexander Rowe won at Phoenix earlier this year. Of course, won the Daytona 500. It's been a solid season for him. Still in the chase as of now. We'll have to see if he can stay there, though. But when it comes to guys at the American Motorsports camp, with the exception of Herr and Alonso, who's had a great season, got Cameron Garlington and Dale Lightning have not had the best of runs. They're the Davids against the Goliaths in this race. That was 100% intentional. But yeah, great to see these throwbacks, and definitely hope to see them run well in tomorrow night's feature event here for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It's a points race, of course, so Those points will definitely come into play on how well they do throughout the rest of the season. Halfway through Heat 2 of the Southern States 400, and Andrew Miller is there on the back bumper of Wyatt Quayle and looking to the inside. Looking for a spot in the front row to start alongside Matt Dahlia for tomorrow night's race. Miller with the run to the inside of Wyatt Quayle for the race lead.
Yeah, and he's going to stick with that inside there. It looks like he might clear him onto the backstretch this lap. Looks like it'll get it done. Maybe, maybe not. That was a little sketchy there, but there we go.
To the
And
lead.
The lead here.
And a Jeff Gordon throwback won this race last year when Trey Bartow was throwing back to Jeff Gordon. And the Rainbow Warrior to the top position here at North Wilkesboro in Heat number 2. Andrew Miller takes the race lead away. Here comes Cameron Garlington and Alex in a row for the 5th position. Trying to get a top 10 starting position. This is for the outside lane starting positions in tomorrow night's feature race for 80 laps in the Southern States 400. And these guys are battling for every position they can. And Alex in a row with a crossover there on Cameron Garlington. Great battle there for 5th.
Yeah, the way Alexander Rowe made that move on Cameron Garlington, that was textbook right there. Garlington's going to try and fight back here, but it looks like with about a car length out, could be a little bit easy, but we have a battle going on right behind him.
That's Dale Lightning to the inside of Gatlin Downey. That is for the 7th position. You got Cody Sill here as well, the 5 of Keegan Thompson.
We got a lot of guys.
All over the positions here. All over the positions here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys battling for position because, as you've said before, every spot counts, and it looks like right now these spots are really counting, and you can guarantee it. Here we go. Another battle for second.
Eli Bright looking on Wyatt Quayle for the 2nd position. And Garlington again back on Wyatt, or should I say Alexander Rowe for the 5th position. They're going after it for that 10th starting position tomorrow night. Oh boy, this get a little dicey right here. Gatlin Downey and Dale Lightning. I really like this throwback. This was a throwback to John Andretti's first win. 1997 ride, and of course John Andretti, as most of us know, passed away earlier this year, and it's definitely so sad to see him lose his battle to cancer, but we got 3 throwbacks in this race, and one of them just went around! That's Cody Sill in the 37, bringing out the caution. That will end the heat early. Andrew Miller is out of here, and he will be starting in the 2nd position for tomorrow night's Southern States 400, but Cody Sill's going to be starting in last after that scuffle there off of turn number 4. Well.
Yeah, that is a rather abrupt ending to a certain particular race.
We'll have to see if that happens tomorrow night as well. Definitely got interesting there near the end. As I was about to mention, we'll go through the John Andretti throwbacks. This is throwback to John Andretti's Little Caesars scheme. This one was from 1997. Of course, we mentioned Brad Stover and the throwback to his first ever win in the Cup Series. That's 99 for Brad Stover. And then Jesse Turner, throwback to his last win. Came in 1999 in Martinsville in the STP ride. Of course, Turner played tribute to John Andretti during the Meliala Smooth Fest earlier this year. And doing it again here in throwback ride to the late John Andretti. Driving number 77, Andrew Miller. It's not an official Napa fan win, but he will be starting alongside Matt Dahlia in tomorrow night's Southern States 400 after he wins heat number 2. Had some interesting racing here, Bill, for these heats. I think we're in store for a pretty good race tomorrow night, don't you think?
Oh yeah, we are definitely in store for a good race tomorrow night. Super amazing. It was a great race tonight. And I'm more than happy and more than excited for tomorrow night's race.
Andrew Miller wins Heat 2 for the Southern States 400 here at North Wilkesboro. And that is how they will line up for tomorrow's Southern States 400 on the outside lane. I'm trying to process all this information. The inside lane was Heat 1. These guys will be starting on those respective positions on the outside lane. So Andrew Miller and Matt Dahlia with the pole will be leading us to the green flag tomorrow in the 80-lap event for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series at North Wilkesboro. The 16th race of the season, and with only 5 races left in the championship before the chase, only 5 races left in the regular season, excuse me. It's go time for these guys trying to make it on to the playoffs and have a shot at a Chick-fil-A Cup Series championship. Congratulations, Andrew Miller, on winning heat number 2. And now it's finally time. Finally, for our first feature event. It's StreetStocks. Alex, are you excited for it?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for it. I can't wait for it. one of my more favorite events today, and I promise I think it'll be pretty good.
It will be. Stick around, just around the corner. We got Street Stock feature action here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout, then the Her's Dash Series finale, still coming up tonight here on Napa Fan. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Andrew Miller for winning heat number 2. And tomorrow night, roughly around 8:30, it'll be part of night number 2 of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout, the Southern States 400 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. 80 laps here at North Wilkesboro. Let's get on the Street Stocks. We're just getting started here on this Thursday evening. First feature event here from North Wilkesboro. Let's see who gets it done in the Street Stock feature event.
And welcome back, everyone. We are here back with the Street Stock feature event. 40 laps tonight here around the North Wilkesboro Speedway, and I am truly excited for this one. A little bit more interesting and a little bit more of a change from last year's Street Stocks compared to this year's. We have 12 drivers in the field, a little less than what we had last year, but still going to be an interesting race all around. A new package, a new setup going for these Street Stocks. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm Alex Bonds here, back up in the booth tonight with me, Napa Fan. Now, Napa Fan, we can say that last year's race was pretty sluggish, to put it lightly. But with this new stuff going on this year, how do you think it's going to play out?
I think with the smaller field, it'll definitely be a little bit more competitive. And I don't know if we're going to see any cautions in this race either, just due to the fact that we only have 12 guys in the field. But either way, it should be a fun one here, regardless. Our first feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Our first official Napa Fan win going to be awarded here tonight, and it should be a good one. With Daniel McMillan starting on the pole position, we got a lot of first-time drivers in this race. If I'm not mistaken, we have at least 4 of them. And I'm wrong, we actually have 5 of these guys making their first career Napa Fan starts in this race. So 7 guys have made starts before, the other 5 have never made a start on this channel before. So it's a very, very young field here, and it should be very interesting to see how this whole thing plays out. Daniel McMillan, like I mentioned, on the pole, though. A veteran driver there starting on the front row, alongside Giorgio Tsutomu in the number 60, his first career Napa Fan start. The first Napa Fan start for Paul Koslow to the inside of Jack Wilson in row number 2. Then we have the number 44 of Matt Tuck to the inside of the 00 of Brandon Yodel. Number 34 machine, Trey Wright, another veteran who's, funny enough, never won a race on Napa Fan before. I thought he's had, but he hasn't. So Trey Wright's still going for his first career Napa Fan win as a driver. He's won races as an owner before, but not as a driver. Number 1 machine starting alongside him there. That's Scott Upton. Then you got Sam Adaskin in the 22 starting to the inside of Jack Hunter. And then it's the 38 machine of Andrew Williams and the 21 of Austin Johnson. 12 drivers in the field here for Street Stocks in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. The smallest race of the weekend, but it should be a good one here around this 6.625 mile oval in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina.
Here we go, getting ready for the start. Up through the gears. Here we go. Here at North Wilkesboro, green flag is out. We are racing for 40 laps in the Street Stock feature tonight. Already off to a good start here. Looks like it's going to be that number 89 at the moment up in front. That's Daniel McMillan to the point, and he's really starting to open up a gap here as we have a battle going on for second between the 2 and the 60 of Paul Koslow and Giorgio Tsutomu. Here to complete lap 1.
McMillan pulled out to a huge lead there at the start, and Tsutomu really fell back there on the initial start of the race. We got 3 wide back in here. The 00 way off the racing surface right there off the corner and falling back. That is the 00 of Brandon Yodel, who also started up front in this race. 3 wide at the back of the field. You got Austin Johnson in the middle there. And the number 3 also in this battle, Jack Hunter. These guys better be careful. Of course, cautions are turned on if they go around and they're stopped on the racing surface at any point throughout this race. Could see ourselves in an accident. Matt Tuck looking behind Paul Koslow. This is Koslow's first career Napa Fan start. A good jump at the start. Currently running in second as Daniel McMillan continues to lead here in the Street Stock feature.
Yeah, McMillan's doing a really good job out there in the front so far. Seems like when he took the lead, he never really looked back, and he's doing a great job out there tonight. You just keep looking at these cars here. We got a battle for second. At number 44, Matt Tuck going to the inside.
And we got
number
3 wide.
Koslow,
Oh boy,
3
we may go
wide.
4 wide here. 54 going up in the Trey Wright, and around goes the 34 of Trey Wright and the 22 of Samet Oskin. But no caution.
No caution.
It was at the back of the field. They felt it was unnecessary for the yellow to come out, but Trey Wright and Samet Oskin are going to fall way to the back of the field here in this street stock feature. They're going to go to 11th and 12th respectively. Meanwhile, it's a battle for second. Paul Koslow going back on Matt Tuck for the second position. All this battling is going to allow Daniel McMillan to pull away with this one.
Yeah, and, you know, I think it's once said in racing that, you know, the guy that's running second, and this is a perfect example, the guy that's running second right now is the hardest working driver but the least bit paid at the moment. And that is definitely Paul Koslow to a nutshell. But hopefully now that the battling's kind of ended, he's going to try and break out a little bit more.
Oh, he just hit the outside wall. They're going to go 3 wide again. Matt Tuck to the inside of Tsutomu, and they're 3 wide for second. Tsutomu and Koslow with a little bit of contact, and they're going to go into the outside wall. Matt Tuck's going to pull away for second now. And here comes the 54 of Jack Wilson, looking to join in on this battle for the third position. There's not much going on up front because McMillan has checked out after all the battling for second. Battle for third now as Jack Wilson moves to the inside. All 3 of these guys 3 wide in their first career Napa fan starts.
Yeah, this definitely, well, in my opinion, does not look good because you could really mess up in these current situations if you're going 3 wide. And we've already seen in late model stocks and super late models, we've already seen what happens if you go 3 wide or if you even wash up off of 4. You'll be hitting the wall. But it looks like here in the street stocks, they're really keeping it under control a little bit.
Andrew Williams up to the 4th position now in the 38 machine. Right behind him, you got the number 60 of Tsutomu. He's been all over the place in this race so far, but starting to figure it out pretty well. Austin Johnson just hit the outside wall. The 1 machine also fell back there. Scott Upton, and then you have Trey Wright and Samet Oskin at the back of the field after they got caught up in their little skirmish. But Daniel McMillan pulling out to a 2.27 second lead now. Matt Tuck's the guy behind him, and last year when we had the Craftsman Throwback Series race here, the special event feature that we had for the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout last year, Jesse Turner led 57 of the 60 laps in that race. Matt Tuck came through the field and ended up winning. They run a very similar physics package, or they ran a very similar physics package in that race like they're doing here, and Matt Tuck knows how to close in these low, or should I say high downforce, high drag machines. And he's starting to eat away at McMillan's lead here, but McMillan doing a good job pulling out to a 2-second lead right now. It helps that all those guys are battling for a second. But now things are starting to cycle out. We'll have to see if Matt Tuck truly has a faster race car than Daniel McMillan for the race lead.
Well, the way it looks right now, it just seems like Daniel McMillan's kind of been consistent all night ever since the drop of the green flag. He's kind of really been out there doing his best and, you know, keeping calm, cool, and collective. And it looks like just from here on out, once he got in the clean air, it looks like McMillan just definitely kind of checked out here.
Matt Tuck continues to close in. It was 1.93 seconds the last lap around, 1.92. He still closed in by 100th of a second, so we'll just have to see. I don't think lap traffic will come into play here in this one. McMillan still too far behind off of Trey Wright and Samet Oskin for that to be an issue, but then we got this gaggle of cars right here, and Giorgio Tsutomu almost got spun by Brandon Yodel there. And the double zeros now going wide. Paul Koslow is there in the 2. Now all these first-timers right in the middle of the pack. Jack Hunter, or should I say, that's not Jack Hunter, that is Jack Wilson. Other Jack in the field. My apologies right there. Jack Hunter is actually ahead of all these guys in number 3. Tsutomu's fallen back. Same with Wilson, Yodel, and Koslow. All those guys in the back of the field. And their first Napa fan race has definitely been interesting. They've gotten a lot of contact with the rest of the field. But let me tell you right now, Matt Tuck is coming on Daniel McMillan. I think it's fitting that 2 of the most experienced guys in this field are running 1-2 right now. And McMillan looking for his 3rd win of the year on Napa Fan. Won twice on road courses over in the Herr Dash Series. He's going to be preparing for that Herr Dash Series race that's coming up here at North Wilkesboro in just a few minutes. So we'll have to see if he can back up all that he's done over in the Herr Dash Series with the race victory here tonight in the Street Stock feature.
Yeah, and you can definitely see off the bat how much Matt Tuck is kind of driving right here. You're seeing it out of 4, like I mean, you can just look at it when he comes out of 4 here. Like, just give it a second when he just comes through 4. Hopefully he won't hit the wall here. But you can see, just look at how much, like, the back end kind of, well, the past couple laps, the back end's been kind of kicking out on him. And he's just been keeping it under control. He's driving like a bat out of hell right now, trying to chase down and catch Daniel McMillan to try and take over the lead. And he's definitely doing a good job at it. Do not get me wrong, but considering we're coming close to about 10 laps left in the race, actually no, we are actually 20
We're right
laps
at halfway
left, right?
actually here in this one.
Yeah,
So.
so I mean, right at halfway, but you kind of see he's kind of falling off a little, but
I think one thing, a big fact. Oh, caution on the
Oh,
racetrack!
caution!
That's going to change everything here in the
Oh.
Street Stock feature. Austin Johnson in the 21. Heavy damage. And that's actually going to benefit Ozkin and Trey right back into this thing. And now things are really going to get interesting here in the Street Stock feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
oh yeah, they definitely will. This really got interesting.
And Scott Upton with damage in the 1 machine. These guys still technically racing back to the line. Jack Hunter in the 3 and Austin Johnson. I think they're just getting back in line. No pit stops needed in any of the events this weekend here in North Wilkesboro, thankfully, but the number 89 machine is going to be a race leader. Dan McMillan has led every lap so far here in the Street Stock feature. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night here in the first feature event of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
Oh, the usual. Washes up, gets into him. That is Jack Hunter.
Yeah, he got a little bit edgy off the corner and got into Tsutomu there in the 60, and Austin Johnson didn't know where to go. Johnson, I don't think, accumulated enough damage to get knocked out. You know what? I think what happened was Scott Upton. Yeah, Scott Upton in the 1 ran right into the back of the 21. Yep, and there was just nowhere for the 21 to go.
Yeah, because I did see Upton go down the pit lane, and I don't know if he's going to be able to continue or not, but it was a pretty hard knock for Upton. Yeah, it just gets washed up, and nowhere to go, and then here comes Upton, boom, right into the back.
Yeah, that's not going to work out too well for Scott Upton. But for Salmon Oskin and Trey Wright, a couple of veterans right there who got caught up in that 1 accident, they might be able to move their way through the field here and have a shot at this one. We're past halfway. Daniel McMillan has led every lap so far here in the Street Stock feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. We'll have to see if he can get the race victory. Will Matt Tuck have a shot at him on these final few laps? Let's get back to racing here at North Wilkesboro.
Here we are, getting ready for the restart. Daniel McMillan is your leader at the moment, followed by a not-so-far 2nd place. Matt Tuck followed that in 3rd. Andrew Williams, 4th. Georgie Tomasuto. And rounding out your top 5 at the moment, number 54, Jack Wilson. So this is going to be interesting for the way this restart is going to be. We're going to go back green. It's going to be 14 laps to go. Let's see what what occurs here in this event. We go up through the gears to the restart zone. Green flag is back out. We race once again, and it looks like McMillan did not get a good restart.
Here comes Matt Tuck in the 44, looking to the inside. McMillan's going to try to get a run up top, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold off Tuck. To the inside, entering 3. And a pass for the race lead, the first ever in a Street Stock feature. Or will it? McMillan holding on in the outside lane.
Yeah,
but
that
Tuck
top
still
line
has the inside.
Really, and it looks like McMillan just really managed to make the top line work right there.
That's the thing about these stock cars. These are really, really heavy downforce stock cars. They're the slowest things that run here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout, so it's a little bit harder to gain that momentum and get a pass, but McMillan worked the outside lane to his advantage. Andrew Williams hanging tough with these guys. Would like to mention both Austin Johnson and Scott Upton are out of this race now, so only 10 drivers left on the racetrack. They continue to battle back in here. Number 2 machine, Paul Coslow, to the inside of Tsutomu in the 60. And you got Jack Hunter there behind those guys. Jack Wilson currently in 4th behind our 3 race leaders. And Andrew Williams now to the inside of Matt Tuck. I think Tuck used up his stuff trying to gift to McMillan during that first green flag run. Andrew Williams seems to have the faster race car.
Yeah, that's the one issue that we have with these street stocks, you know, and as you said, these cars are a high downforce car, so it's kind of one of those, you have to save your equipment as best as you can, and if you don't, you're kind of really messing yourself up there. And looks like Matt Tuck did that. He used up all of his stuff in the beginning, trying to chase down Daniel McMillan. Unfortunately, not going to be the case. And there we go, Andrew Williams taking the pass for second and the pass for third, with the number 54 complete right there. So Matt Tuck starting to drop like a rock.
Yeah, tough break there from Matt Tuck. He just simply doesn't have the speed to match McMillan. And now McMillan, with only 8 laps to go next time by, looking at a feature win in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Of course, McMillan was one of the stronger guys in last year's super late model feature, but fortunately couldn't come home with the race victory in that one. We'll have to see. Andrew Williams going for his first career Napa fan win. He's coming close here to McMillan. The big question is, will he catch up to him in these final few laps, and will he be able to make the pass? McMillan has been strong all night. Will he grab the race victory in his 3rd of the year on Napa Fan?
Anything's possible at this point. Looking at the intervals in the last time by, looks like McMillan's really opening up the gap a little bit to Williams, and I think that's going to be coming down to the end of the race. McMillan, who's kind of saved up his stuff for majority of the race, is kind of starting to use it up, or he's trying to gain it a little more. You know, he's going to start using it up a little.
38 really closed in that time, though. Andrew Williams got a really good run off of turn number 2 compared to McMillan. And he's trying all he can, but he's running out of time. Next time by, 5 laps to go on the StreetStock feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. It's not over yet. We've seen it happen before where a guy has caught up and made the pass. Will Andrew Williams be able to get his first career Napa fan win and do it on Daniel McMillan? He closed in again on McMillan that time. I think working that outside lane off the corner gives you a better run off. Here we go. Battle for 3rd. Matt Tuck on Jack Wilson. Try to get to the inside. He's got the nose this time by, and trying to get a podium position here in this StreetStock feature.
Yeah, that's a good thing for Matt Tuck. Matt Tuck might have probably pulled the sleeper right there, just waiting for his moment to drop back, and then the moment comes and snap, he's coming right back up to where he left off.
It's getting intense up front. They're still side by side for 3rd. Those guys losing touch off the top 2. McMillan really wide off the corner, but so was Andrew Williams. It's now 3 laps to go on the StreetStock feature.
Yeah, these guys are going to try and drive like a bat out of hell right now. McMillan is going to try and drive like a bat out of hell just to try and get away, but Williams is going to try and drive like a bat out of hell just to catch him and try and pass him. So these guys are going to try and use up any equipment that they have left on their car, any tire tread that they have left, just to go out there and get the win. 3 laps to go at the line.
And Williams lost a little bit of time right there. Next time by, it's the white flag here in the StreetStock feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. And Daniel McMillan trying to hold off Andrew Williams. Jack Wilson able to hold off Matt Tuck for 3rd. McMillan wide again off the corner. Will Williams be able to get one last chance on the 59?
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now, like, as you were saying, Williams gets that better run off the high line, but, I mean, I'm telling you, he's a couple car lengths back. Doesn't look like it. Daniel McMillan, through 3 and 4. Should he mess up on the final corner? He will not. Daniel McMillan, your winner here in the StreetStock category for the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout.
And a close one between Jack Hunter and Matt Tuck, but not close enough to change position. And Daniel McMillan, from start to finish, just like last year, is going to win the StreetStock feature in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Daniel McMillan gets it done here for the first feature of the weekend. Great performance out of that 89 team, and they're able to just hold everybody off. Very fun race here in the StreetStock category. And that's probably going to be the worst race of the weekend as well. We've already seen all the crazy stuff we've seen in the Super Late Models and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and we got one more race tonight in the Herr Dash Series. How do you think that one's going to go out with 40 trucks on this racetrack?
I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Do not get me wrong. 40 trucks on a racetrack like this, a little bull ring like this, I think it's going to be fun.
And it will be the finale in the Herr Dash Series. I'm pretty sure I can say that Eric Monaco has clinched the championship, but I can't entirely say that for a fact. But either way, everyone's going to want to win this finale because it's part of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. The last race of the night, 40 trucks, the last race of the Herr Dash Series, season number 4, is right now. 40 laps from North Wilkesboro, the cap off the season in the quarantine series on Napa Fan. I was trying to say what I wanted to say, and I didn't say it too smoothly, but Here we go. Her's Dash here is going to cap off the season right now here from North Wilkesboro. Congratulations to Daniel McMillan, your winner in the StreetStock feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. And here we go. It's now time for the final feature of the night here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Alex had to scoot, so now we're going to bring in Trey Wright, who designed the logo for us for this whole event, to call the last race of the evening, the Her's Dash Series feature. And I say that because the championship has already been clinched. Of course, the points will still be awarded in this series, and we will have final point standings at the end of the night. But Eric Monaco won the championship on Tuesday at Las Vegas. So with that all out of the way, it's all for the marbles in this one race. And I kind of want to consider it the crown jewel race of the season for these guys, because part of a big event. It's the first time we're going to have 40 cars on the track during this whole weekend, so it should be a wild one. And Trey, you're in this race, you're starting 8th, but Eric Monaco is starting 4th, and with what we've seen this season out of him, do you think he's going to pull off the race victory here in this Her's Dash Series feature?
I seriously do. He has nothing that can go wrong. He's already mathematically clinched the championship. Even if he finishes last, he'll still lock up the championship. So I think he's going to race it 150%. If he wrecks the car, that's fine. He won't lose any money, and he won't lose any car parts because this is a video game. So
yeah, exactly. And not only that, he wrecked on Tuesday as well. Still won the championship after that huge wreck we had at the end of that race. I don't think we're going to have a wreck quite of that magnitude here tonight in this one, but we could still see a couple of spins and some bumps and bangs and all that stuff. We've seen a lot of it so far here tonight with all the races, especially with the super late model heats that we had earlier in the night, and I think we're going to see a similar race play out here because these guys use GNS physics just like the super late models do, so could get a little wild here, especially with 40 trucks on the racetrack. But no point in showing you the points because Monaco's clinched the championship, so we'll just go ahead and get you guys the starting lineup and get this final feature underway. Hope you guys have enjoyed the evening. We thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely been a blast putting this whole thing on for you guys. Edwin Mendez and Daniel McMillan on row number 1. Logan Williams and champion Eric Monaco in row number 2. Sebastian Kukel and Keisha Boyd in row number 3. Brett Sear, who won at Las Vegas on Tuesday alongside Trey Wright. And then the 49 of Gatlin Downey in the 02. Nathan Bear ran out the top 10 starting positions here for the Her's Dash Series feature. It's only 40 laps. It's not that long of a race for these guys, and it's going to be interesting to see if anyone from the mid-pack can find their way to the front, but odds are that's not going to happen. It's a pretty short feature considering how many guys are in the field. We'll have to see if Edwin Mendez can hold off Daniel McMillan, or will Eric Monaco get the win. We'll have to see how it all goes down. Coming across to start the last feature of the night, thank you guys so much for joining us here on this Thursday evening. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Already. So this is we have seen all night long. These guys almost going 3 wide through turn 2. McMillan will clear, looking for his 3rd win of the season. Of course, both of the wins he has had this season have been at road courses. But he's trying to close in on Edwin Mendez, but Mendez will lead the first lap of action here at North Wilkesboro.
Edwin Mendez got a great jump off of Daniel McMillan on the start, and meanwhile, mid towards the back towards the middle of the pack, we see 3 wide briefly as we're completing lap 1. It's definitely going to be
back in here. Got Andrew Miller on the inside there. Justin Zidell, Zach Winkle are all in this mess, and they're really getting loose off of turn number 4 right there. Got some more 3 wide. Monaco getting shoved to the outside lane. They're tired of him. They don't care anymore. He's already won the championship. They're going to play a little dirty with him here tonight. He's way on the outside lane and falling back, but how about Daniel McMillan? He just won that StreetStock feature we had a moment ago, and now he's going for 2 wins right in a row here in one night at North Wilkesboro. Do you think winning that StreetStock race gives him a bit of an advantage here tonight in this Her's Dash Series feature?
I believe it does. I know that the StreetStocks compare a little bit well with the trucks, so I think even though McMillan, he's won on road courses, we see
in the wall. Derek Hamill in the 68. That's not the first time we've seen that tonight. Look at this. That's Christian Russell in the outside wall with Ryan Durrani. Since it's at the back of the field, no caution's going to come out. They have been extremely conservative with those cautions. McMillan got really wide off the corner. My goodness, he was loose.
Oh, yes. Oh, my
Logan
goodness.
Williams now on the outside of him, but McMillan trying to regain his composure after that wild moment. And Christian Russell is not going to be happy after that one, especially considering the caution did not come out. I mean, like I said, they've been very conservative with those cautions. They have not called them out that much tonight. They have, of course, called them out, but only when it's necessary. And a lot of these wrecks have happened in the back of the field, and they just let it go. I was about to mention, we saw Hamill have his moment. Nathan Stapleton again with an issue. He had a similar issue at Watkins Glen, and again, Stapleton will finish in the last position in a Herr's Dash Series race. Tough break for Stapleton. Tough way to end the season here in the Herr's Dash Series for the driver of the number 4.
We saw Mendez away. A lot of these guys are getting off of turn 4. They're just fishtailing it out of 4. And that's definitely a factor that this track has, not just the Herr's Dash Series, but a lot of different series in NR 2003. So the way these guys get off of 4, that's definitely going to play a factor. Whoa, man, the
19, yeah, that was Brett Sierra. He got a little loose off the corner. Here we go, McMillan. I think McMillan's had the fastest truck this whole time, but he just got really loose that one time he tried to make a pass. He's going to try once again on Mendez, and this time he'll get it to stick. McMillan to the race lead, looking for 2 wins in a row on the same night. Mendez putting the bumper to him there in turn 1, and now Kukalan's coming in the 15 for the 2nd position.
Mendez sent it right there, and he's going to pay the price as Kukalan's going to go wide.
McMillan really up the racetrack there. Kukalan on the inside. He's going to put Mendez on the outside. Logan Williams, Brett Sierra here as well. But how about Daniel McMillan? He's owning this place here. You might want to watch out for him tomorrow night in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. It's been a tough season for him over there in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but with what we've seen here tonight, he might have a good shot at possibly stealing another North Wilkesboro win this weekend.
Indeed, and a little bit of a preview for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race. If this is what it's going to be like, then, oh, baby, that is going to be interesting tomorrow night with a throwback race.
Absolutely, and I'd like to thank you for painting a lot of the throwbacks you guys will be seeing tomorrow night. Thank you so much for all the help you did there, and also a huge thanks to Herr, and Alonso as well. And obviously we saw a lot of those throwbacks, or all those throwbacks earlier tonight with the Chick-fil-A Cup Series heats that we had, so obviously, no, it could get a little crazy in the Cup Series. It also is getting crazy here in the Herr's Dash Series, but McMillan is out of here. He wants his 3rd win of the season. He's done a good job this season, especially on the road courses, and looking to get his first oval win in quite some time on Napa-Fan. Kukalan now going wide off the corner, and it's now Brett Sierra looking to go 2 in a row. Caution out on the racetrack, and guess who it is? It's Eric Monaco, who just got spun around.
And I think Nathan Stapleton might have had something to do with it, as Eric Monaco was possibly going to take a swipe at him, but good thing that this isn't effectively for point. I mean, it is for points, but not for Eric Monaco. He's already won it, but and I think he was probably dumped, as you were saying earlier. Everyone's kind of PO'd that he's already won the championship, that he's been dominating everybody else, but
not only that, he's led in the points every single race this season, won 5 races. I don't think he's going to win tonight. But, I don't think he lost too many positions there on that one.
Oh, somebody getting dumped.
I think Miller's trying to come down the pit lane, and Ethan Lewis is in his way. Then you got Austin Colano also coming down. We might have had a bit of a stack-up because of the 56 going around there. Daniel McMillan is the race leader, and if anything, I don't even think this is going to hurt Monaco that much, because he probably crossed the line while spinning and was able to regain his position. Either that or he's trying to get his lap back. One of the two. I don't exactly know what he's doing. He's just driving up the 2nd. He's like, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to...
I don't know. Scoring says that he's in the 8th position.
We'll have to see what it says this time by, but Monaco is definitely not deserving of being in 2nd. I'll tell you that much. Let's see once scoring loops out. Oh my goodness.
What the heck? Okay.
I'm a little intrigued by that one.
He's a champion. He gets a pass.
I don't know. I think we saw this happen in the Super Truck feature last year. And little plug, Super Truck feature going to be tomorrow night, 50 laps. just after modified qualifying. So around 7:15 tomorrow night we'll be running that one. Yeah, we're gonna have to review this one, but we're not gonna change anything. It's not like this race means anything for points, but Eric Monaco, he's just had it. You know, he's already the champion. He don't care anymore. Let's see what happened to bring out the first caution here in the Herr's Dash Series feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Josh Williamson in the 99. He lost control, got really loose off of turn number 4, and Monaco was there, and around with the 99, but the caution didn't come out until this point right here, I don't believe. And, Monaco getting sent to the inside wall. Now, I'm not entirely sure. I think a big reason why we had the issue that we did is because the caution came out midway through these guys racing back to the line. And that kind of jammed everything up. Monaco had crossed the line while spinning, and he drove all the way up to second. I don't exactly know why that's the case, but I believe we had this exact thing happen in the Super Truck feature last year. And, yeah, I don't get why it happens, but it's not a first-time thing that we've seen. Very intriguing little moment there with Eric Monaco.
Off of turn number 4, Williamson just loses it and just hooks Eric Monaco, and a pretty simple incident. But then the scoring, that's the first time we've had a scoring controversy here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway in both real life and in our 2003. Is man, somebody almost got dumped by there by the 19. That's a 10 of Logan Williams,
and then they jammed it up here. McMillan had just driven away from all of them. But, yeah, I think this is one of those cases, and I know we had this exact thing happen last year in the Super Truck feature, but we did not give out a penalty for it in that scenario. This time, however, Eric Monaco is going to have way too much of an advantage, so I'm going to say this, and maybe I shouldn't, but even if Monaco happens to win this race, I'm not going to count it as official, because there is no way that he deserves that second position. You know, he was running around the 14th, 15th position when that happened. He got caught up in the accident for one thing, and then drove by everybody. So, even if the game doesn't disqualify him, we're going to disqualify him ourselves if he doesn't give up his positions. And I know that's something we don't normally do, but considering the circumstances of the championship, it doesn't really matter. Monaco's already won it. And the fact that he gained so much out of that, I don't think we're going to let this one slide. But we're going to still have a great race on our hands as well. Regardless, I should say. Daniel McMillan is the race leader. Officially, second place is Brett Sierra, Andrew Williams, Keisha Boyd, and Sebastian Kugel on the top 5. Let's go ahead and see what happens on the restart here in the Herr's Dash Series feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. And we are back here at North Wilkesboro. It's definitely getting interesting. And obviously, like we said, Monaco did not give up his positions. That is not rightfully his second position that he is currently running in. So, if he crosses the line here, he will be disqualified from the race and finish 40th. But it doesn't matter because he's already won the championship. So McMillan gets the jump. Brett Sears going to get to the inside of Monaco anyway. So it's probably not going to be Monaco and victory lane in the game anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and let it slide. So thankfully, he's going to slip up and most likely fall back. Obviously, he has some damage from that accident as well. So here we go. Daniel McMillan, Brett Sierra. Andrew Williams has found his way to third. Keisha Boyd and Sebastian Kukulon up here as well. Don't know what happened to Logan, but Logan was running inside the top 10 there, and he had come down the pit lane. You got Andrew Miller and Alexander Rowe coming down as well, and they're all trying to get around Eric Monaco now. That 56 is considerably slower than a lot of other guys. Here we go for second. Andrew Williams looking to the inside of Brett Sierra.
As we see, Sarah's going to move up just a little bit, and here comes Williams. Oh, is he going to hook him there? That got close from that camera angle.
It was a tight one. We got 3 wide back in the field here. That is Matt Dalio and Ethan Lewis and Christian Master. You're going to keep it together for now. You got Justin Lightning here on the inside, Nathan Baird, and Noah Clifton for 3 wide action through turns 3 and 4. For third, Keisha Boyd, and I would imagine this is the sister of Ashlyn Boyd, who won the feature event in the Super Late Models last year in this race. So watch out for her. Boyd family runs pretty well here. But McMillan definitely with the advantage here tonight. And he's starting to pull away from Brett Sear with now 15 laps to go in the Herr's Dash Series feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. There goes Kukalon to the inside of Andrew Williams.
Yeah, I think unless something catastrophic happens on that 38, I think he's going to get his first oval win of the year. And Eric Monaco continues to fall back. I think it's mostly because of the damage he has on that race truck. Whoa, Silas Orta got loose right there.
Yeah, the number 16 got to the inside of Mendez. As Mendez was making the pass on Monaco, and Nathan Faden looking to the inside here as well. Oh, and this thing's going to get a little interesting now. McMillan closing in on lap traffic, got really wide off the corner, and Andrew Williams got spun, but they kept it straight, and we remain green here at North Wilkesboro, but that's going to lose a lot of time for Kukalon. It's even going to damage Kukalon's truck. He's got quite a bit of damage on the 15. That's going to slow him down. Keisha Boyd now getting the inside of Brett Sierra for second. And Andrew Williams is going to fall back quite a bit there in the number 44. And in the wall back in there, that's Ethan Lewis and Parker Smith.
And turn 4, the exit of turn 4, I should say, has been Calamity Corner this entire race. A lot of different action there. But man.
And McMillan's just scooting away from everybody.
We're going to come back with 10 laps to go this time by, so unless he himself is a victim of Calamity Corner, I think he's going to come away with this thing.
We'll have to see. Keisha Boyd, I think she's got a pretty fast race car on that 04 machine. She had to get around Brett Sierra, and that slowed her up a little bit, but we may see her close in on McMillan here. She's got 10 laps to do it. That last time around, she gained 4 100ths. Not enough to really close in, but if she is faster, she may find a way to the back bumper of McMillan. But McMillan, like I mentioned, we saw him win the Street Stock feature just a moment ago. Looking for 2 straight wins in one night here at North Wilkesboro.
Indeed, he's coming off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Boyd is slowly catching up to him, but I think it's going to be too little too late for the 04. Brett Sierra, he goes wide as we look back through the field. More trucks coming on the pit road.
Andrew Miller's been doing the cycle on pit road the entire night. I do not know what's going on with the 33, but definitely not the best of runs for him. You got Owen Miles, Trey Wright, Noah Clifton here, 3 wide, and then you got the 40 of Matt Dallio in the middle of all this as well. It's definitely intense midway through the field, and the caution just came back out. And a huge stack up.
Stack up, that's going to slow down McMillan.
Boy, Keisha Boyd's going to be right there now. Oh, wait, he got caught up in it.
I called it.
Oh, man. And Keisha Boyd and Brett Sierra, they're going to drive by. The race back to the line now goes to Brett Sierra. Unbelievable.
Man, this race is just dripping in controversy, and I'm not sure if we're going to end under the caution flag or not.
Well, we will get a restart. I will say we will at least get a restart. It's 6 laps to go at the line, so it should be either 1 or 2 laps to go. But McMillan, I think, just ran right into all of that. Keisha Boyd and Brett Sierra were able to drive around. Unbelievable.
I have 2 purposes in this life: to predict people, randomly predict people to win, and to jinx people. Oh my god.
Well, McMillan may not win 2 in a row here tonight. We've had a wild night here, and we're going to cap it off with a great finish. But first, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution in the Herr's Dash Series feature here in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. Well, we got 3 wide coming off of turn 2, and Andrew Miller coming off the pit lane, which eventually causes 4 wide. Christian Russell got in the Miller, and then Matthew, or should I say Mason Brown, in the 18, who had a shot at the championship. Oh, boy! Ooh. Miller hit the pit road wall. Scott Upton, Ryan Durrani, nowhere to go. Alexander Rowe, nowhere to go in the 3. It's a narrow racetrack. When they stack up like this, there's not much room to avoid it. And that's what happened to Daniel McMillan here. He knew it was up there. He's on the apron there. I don't know what he's trying to do. But he's trying to find a way to avoid this accident, and there really isn't anywhere he can go. Oh, man. He just ran right into Miller, and McMillan should be fine. But all these guys get stacked up. Brett Sierra splits them to the inside, takes the race lead away. Keisha Boyd had the check up. Of course, McMillan obviously had the check up. And now Brett Sierra in position to win the last 2 races of the season here in the Herr's Dash Series. What a wild, wild moment there in turn 3.
3 wide often does not work here, and 4 wide is just a recipe for disaster. Man, Andrew Miller hard hitting into the inside wall. Alexander Rowe gets involved, and like you said, the track is extremely narrow, especially in the corners, as McMillan just rear ends the back of the 33, and then Brett Sierra is just going to do some maneuvers down to the inside, and he's going to take the race lead back. We're going to have a shootout here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, but very interesting, controversial, and wild race so far. And it's just, we're setting up for a wild turn ending here.
Yeah, McMillan still has a shot, and I mean, if things really get crazy, watch out for Kukulon and Silas Orta as well. But Brett Sierra won Las Vegas on Tuesday. Now he's going for 2 races in a row to cap off the season. Let's see if he does it here in the Herr's Dash Series feature of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout, the Herr's Dash Series finale. It's going to be the last couple of laps of the season. Thank you guys for joining us this season. Let's give you a great finish to the 4th season of the Herr's Dash Series. It will, in fact, be a 1-lap shootout. 1 more lap in Season 4 of the Herr's Dash Series. Who's going to get the last victory of the season? Brett Sierra, Keisha Boyd, Daniel McMillan, Sebastian Kukulon, Silas Orta. McMillan is not happy. He's going to be a little bit anxious on this one. Who do you think's going to get it, Trey?
I think Brett Sierra is definitely in the catbird seat, but I've pretty much jinxed everybody during this race, so we'll just see what happens.
Green flag, 1 lap to go in the Herr's Dash Series feature. McMillan has too much damage to continue. It's between Keisha Boyd and Brett Sierra, and Boyd has a run to the inside. Coming to the checkered flag. Keisha Boyd looking on Brett Sierra, but Sierra holding ground on the inside lane. It's going to be 2 in a row for Brett Sierra to end the Herr's Dash Series season number 4.
And Hamill nearly loses it off of turn 4 once again, but how about this race to cap off this season?
Wow. And Brett Sierra sweeps the final week of Herr's Dash Series racing. And not only that, he gets a feature win in the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout. That's a special one right there for Brett Sierra. And all it took was a little luck. McMillan was done. He still finished 4th. Still a good run there for McMillan, all things considered. But wow, we thought McMillan was going to drive away with this thing. Not the case. It's Brett Sierra going back-to-back to cap off the season in the Herr's Dash Series. Keisha Boyd almost got her first career win. So close, just didn't have the run on Sierra. If there was 1 more lap, I think she would have gotten it. Silas Orta in 3rd, McMillan and Nathan Faden rounding out the top 5. Eric Monaco disqualified, but it doesn't matter because he didn't win the race. But he gained a lot of ground there because of that move he made on the first caution. He's going to finish unofficially in the 8th position, but we're going to knock him to the back because that was stupid. Logan Williams, Christian Russell, Scott Upton, Andrew Miller, we saw what happened to those guys. Stapleton had his issue. Lopez and Alexander Rowe both got caught a lap down because I think he got stuck in that second accident. But, oh my goodness, what a night here in North Wilkesboro, and we're just getting started. I mean, we've had so much action tonight already, and tomorrow we got ourselves the Super Truck feature, the Late Model Stock feature, and then the throwback race for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, the 16th race of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, a points race for those guys. What do you think we're going to see tomorrow night? I mean, we're just getting started, and we've already seen so much action.
Yeah, there's no place that can go but up. The Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, that is definitely going to be extremely wild. The old-timey paint schemes ranging from Tim Flock's 91 with Jocko Flacco on the side to Eli Bright's Dale Jr. throwback to with the SunTrust Bank on there. It's definitely going to be a very colorful race to watch in general, but the racing is definitely going to be top-notch, and not to overshadow the other two events that are going to be running tomorrow. It's definitely going to be wild. I highly recommend you guys watch it.
7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Napa Fan. It's night number 2 of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout, and if you liked what you saw tonight, you're going to love what you're going to see tomorrow, because it's going to be wild. We got 3 features, including the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, so stick around. Gonna be a great night here from North Wilkesboro. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Had a blast doing here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, and we are looking forward to tomorrow night and Saturday night as well. So we're just getting started, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a great night here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Congratulations to Brett Sierra, and thank you to everyone who watched this series. Like I said, it was kind of the quarantine series for this year, and now I'm glad it's done, because it was a bit of a pain to record at times. It wasn't too hard to record, but it'd be like, man, I gotta do this race. But hey, I wasn't feeling that way with this one. I was looking forward to this one, and I think we got a pretty good one to cap off the season here in the Her's Dash Series. Brett Sierra, your race winner in the final race of the season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here are the final point standings for the Her's Dash Series after 20 races. It's done. Congratulations to Eric Monaco. He's your champion in Season 4 of the Her's Dash Series. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. And on behalf of Trey Riot and Alex Bonsignor, we will see you guys tomorrow night for Night 2 of the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout, Super Trucks, Late Model Stocks, and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I will see you guys later.
I think it's time to let go.